So we're back, guys. Back talking AOT. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us. My name is AJ. You guys know I'm your host. And joining me is...
Hey, I'm Lexi.
And it's Lexi. Lexi is back from
I know you guys
Dog
missed
City.
me last week. I know. I was making
Kyron's
some money.
back also. Kyron's back.
I know Kyron is back.
Kyron joining us at the moment. Kyron also to go ahead and talk about his comments. He's saying, bro, that beard is looking immaculate every day. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah. The beard's coming in pretty nice.
Yeah, he knows that it's every day.
Yeah.
Every single day, not just Sundays.
Yeah, he knows that the
day.
beard is looking good every day. Yeah, thank you. You know, it's just one of those things, just like much like having long hair, it's kind of like, oh God, you know, having to go ahead and just kind of maintain it, whatever, and all that work. But hey, getting comments like that, it makes it definitely
Makes it a little
worth it. So thank you so much, my friend. Please let me know how you doing, man. How's your week been? How's the weekend going? I'd love to go ahead and hear it. You missed Zach last week. But yeah, sucks that I missed the one time Zach comes back. But I mean, we'll see. Zach might be back this podcast. Zach's a very busy person, and for people that are aware, you know, he's making the big jump of actually like moving in and stuff like that. And they keep, for whatever reason, pushing back his like move-in date because they're doing renovations. So he had that like a final kind of like walkthrough to go ahead and see all the renovations and stuff, make sure everything's good before they officially move in. But of course, that was like literally like before we're supposed to go ahead and go on live here, you know, as we're streaming on Twitch, and yeah, so Zach he's gonna try to make it. So Zach may join us mid-episode. So of course, stick around, guys. If Kyron, stick around so you can go ahead and chat with Zach. Zach's able to make it. But yeah, it was a good episode last week. I know that you were unable to make it, Lex, because you were stuck all weekend dog sitting.
I was making money.
Yeah, and and I'll go ahead and ask you very shortly, Lex, how you're doing. But yeah, so it was a cool episode last week. Wasn't the most exciting episode in terms of storyline and all that, you know, but I guess it was exciting because we did
some revelations to be had.
Yeah, it was cool because
seeing moral compasses.
We're seeing characters really kind of now having to switch their kind of moral compass and you know, it's the unfortunate realization of this is the reality that we're living in now, right? In the AOT world. We talked about it. It's not just black and white, like these are the Titans we need to go after, or even like, oh my gosh, you know, like we need to save Eren from the Titans. No, it's like, wait, we need to save Eren from people?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Meaning you have to kill people.
People, yeah. And yeah.
And still at this point of the story, they don't even know if the Titans who they're killing are people.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they know that they are people, but they don't know that if they're like conscious people or if it's like, you know, don't know the whole details about that.
That's the thing is that right now the details...
More testing of the moral compass.
Yeah, the details
as you see
are
Levi
always
struggle with that.
Very foggy. And it's like, man. And the thing is, we talked about it last week too. It's like so many of these new details that we're getting, that these characters are getting. I mean, they're happening like daily, hourly, whatever the case is. And these are like adjustments that they have to make literally on the fly. And it's like what Levi told John and his Levi squad. You cannot hesitate. Because if you hesitate, even for a moment,
will kill you.
It will kill you, right? And even when you don't hesitate, we see that there's characters that they didn't hesitate, but it's still like the effects of whatever your action is, whatever that order is that you're supposed to go ahead and do. If you fulfill that order, it's still gonna mess with you. And yeah, my poor Armin is feeling emotional. But yeah, what's up, Eddie? So we got joining us, of course, is Kyron, and we also have Eddie, friends of the show, and. I've been thinking about it, guys. I've been thinking about what I want to refer to you guys as, and and this is going to be something that's kind of like, you know, it's going to take collaborative effort to go ahead and come up with something that's going to be the final kind of name, right? We're obviously coming up and thinking about ideas and stuff like that, you know. We got the core, we got, you know, the Attack the Talkers, which
not necessarily a fan favorite.
But yeah, I'll tell you guys very shortly what I'm thinking, what I want to refer to you guys as, and I think it's a super cool name because of obviously what it kind of symbolizes. But yeah. So yeah. Very quickly, looking over in chat. Eddie's mentioning that SB. She says hi. Unfortunately, cannot join us as she says that she's not.
She's got something.
She's got something tonight. Okay.
Okay.
So
Aw.
thanks so much for the update, Eddie.
Yeah. Thank you, Eddie.
SB.
SB, we'll miss you.
We miss you.
Hopefully, you're listening in the future.
Yeah.
So this is past AJ and Lexi.
This is past
saying
exactly,
hello
and we're
to
saying
present
hello.
SB.
And we're saying that we hope
Making her
that
have,
you're
like, an
doing
existential
well.
crisis right now.
Yeah, we love you very much. And Lexi continues to drop her
Yeah,
phone
I
each and every
always
episode.
do.
It's
a tradition.
reoccurring thing.
I actually do it on purpose every time.
Yeah, but yeah, SB, we hope that you're doing well, and thanks for saying hi virtually. And yeah, it's gonna be fun stuff to go ahead and get to the episode today. Like I said, we're gonna be finishing episode 2 of season 3.
Yeah.
This is part 3 of our episode discussion, and yeah.
If we keep it up with 3 parts, then we should have this podcast for a good
Yeah, we'll have it
couple
for a
more
good while.
years.
You know, again, it's all dependent on what information that each episode wants to give us, because
Yeah.
we're getting so much information.
Yeah.
And
It's such like little time. Like, yes, when you watch the episode all the way, like when you actually like fully on watch the episode, you're like, wow, that was so quick.
yeah.
But it's because it's like, it feels like you're getting so much information so fast, which you are.
Oh yeah.
Very much are, which is why with our breakdown, we're having to split some episodes into 3 parts.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we could sit here for 5 hours.
Yeah, literally
discussing
we'd be
one
doing
episode.
a 4-hour
Yeah.
episode, right? And I'd be cool with doing that, but also it's like it's probably better to go ahead and, like Zach mentioned, just stretch out the content a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
We'll just do that, but
Because the
yeah.
way that like season 2 just flew by, given it is the shortest.
Yeah, what,
it is
12
the
episodes?
shortest season, yeah.
we
But
split that in half. So
it
obviously
still
we got,
just flew by.
yeah, it definitely did. I remember you weren't able to go ahead and be part of the finale discussion, and I didn't even realize that was the finale
I
until
didn't either.
doing the preparation and stuff. You know, I was like, wow, this is going to be the final episode of season 2.
Yeah, like dang.
And yeah, again, season 2 flew by, and then here we are, season 3, and like you
and
mentioned,
still,
Lexi,
like just as much info. I feel like season
They're
2
trying
is
to-
so info filled.
oh, definitely. That's why it's, you know, kind of like with season 3, they're trying to catch us up, but also giving us new info. And like you said, it's just been a lot of information. These first 2 episodes. We're only
Yeah.
2 episodes into
I
season
know.
3, right?
And there's
yeah.
still so much information.
Well, this is just the beginning of it.
I know.
Like
This is
this
just the
is the
setting up
start
part.
of like the government arc.
Yeah.
Like we just got our first little introduction to, I think, what they were referring to themselves as the Charter of Humanity, which is that 4-member councils. We have our, you know, our king that sitting upon his throne, and you know, we still have to go ahead and really dive into all that. Obviously,
Yeah.
we're introduced to Rod Rice, and we got to go ahead and focus on all that. And yeah, it is chiming in saying the Rising Up arc, right? Yeah, it literally it's
Yeah.
just, this is the arc where we're getting that kind of switch in power, right? And yeah, there's just so much to go ahead and talk about. It's insane. But before we go ahead and get into the story, of course, I want to go ahead and ask Lexi. Lexi, please tell us how you're doing. Let us know how last weekend was, dog sitting and all that. And yeah, go ahead. And
Yeah,
you
it
doing?
was pretty good. It's always, I mean, I was dog sitting. Yeah, again yesterday and the day before, with the same dog and same house. Dog she's absolutely great. I swear that she understands English.
yeah,
I swear she understands what I'm saying. Like, I had like an existential crisis, being like, if you can understand what I'm saying, like do a strong exhale. And then she did it, and I was like, I am not going. I'm not Dr. Doolittling
That's
right
a coincidence right now. Like, and you'll try something else.
now. Yeah, and I was like, all right, if you can understand what I'm saying, kick your leg. And then she did it.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like,
that dog can understand what you're
I was like,
saying.
there is no way that this is real.
Yeah.
And then like,
You're going full like Zeke Beast Titan mode right now.
No,
you're
I'm literally
you're like feeding information to this dog,
Yeah.
to this little Titan, and you're just like, okay,
yeah,
kick your leg.
yeah.
So there you go.
Wiggle your big toe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had a talking dog or a dog that understood me, which was completely great. And then my symptoms for my concussion have gone down to almost 0 now.
That's awesome.
I just get
Hell yeah.
little tiny mild headaches here and there sometimes, but I've been taking a lot of naps.
Well, that's freaking good news. All right. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And I have a CT scan sometime soon. I don't know.
Okay.
But
on the right track.
We'll make sure everything's good up there. Don't worry, guys. We'll make sure it's all good.
Yeah.
They just look at it and it's just filled with the AttackOnTitan stuff. It's just filled with just Hanji.
Yeah, definitely.
What is that? Nothing? It's just the Hanji face.
Very cool.
Oh, but did you want to... We kind of... What we always do is keep talking about... We just always get off track. Did you want to tell them your idea for the name?
The name? Yeah, I can go ahead and do that. Okay, guys. So, obviously, we have the core, which that's the name we're kind of running with a little bit, right? And then the core, who would you say the core consists of? Obviously, we have joining us is Eddie, Kyron, very much a part of the core. I want to throw SB in there. SB, she's been amazing and stuff, showing us tremendous support. And, we have B. Dennis also, who goes and chimes in weekly, We
had Boggy for definitely like an OG.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I feel like
Boggy's
Captain Boggy's still got to be in there. I want to throw Marco in there too.
Yeah,
Marco
too.
I mean... these are all people that have just continued to go ahead and
loyal
watch us
supporters.
and stuff, and it's amazing. You guys know that we love you guys. And we also have Lovey who chime in every now and then.
Lovey.
We love Lovey, and then
we have Laker for Life.
Who we love Laker for Life for sure. The support is amazing coming from them as well, and I'm sure there's others too that we're missing.
Yeah,
for sure. But these are the people that of course they go ahead and they join us as we're streaming live. And as I mentioned before, guys, it's awesome because you guys are literally talking AOT with us live. Like, how exciting is that?
Like, we all just meet up and just talk about this anime.
Like, we get to talk about this anime,
that has just brought us all together and be friends.
Cool is
and it's not that it's just we're friends with you guys. It's you guys are friends with each other.
Yeah,
and we're just
it's
a
amazing,
little community.
And to like for this awesome friendship and community to go ahead and be created, and stuff. It's like, man, again, it's special. Yeah, we'll get to the comments in a bit. I like these comments, but again, guys, you guys mean a lot to this podcast. You guys are part of this podcast. Don't think that you guys aren't. You guys are. You guys literally like reoccurring, friends that join us every week, and it's amazing. And
you guys provide as much content as we do.
Yeah, definitely. and it's cool that we're able, as we talk AOT, but we're talking about literally different topics of AOT every week because we're covering different parts of the episodes and all that. So it's so much fun, guys. But the name that I want to go ahead and delegate to you guys is something, again, it's like kind of cliche, but also it's kind of it is fitting to you guys because you guys are the top of the top.
Yes.
And then
big emphasis on that.
Yeah, you guys are literally the top of the top, right? And so what I want to go ahead and refer to you guys as, you guys are the Attack the Talk Levi Squad. That's who you guys are. You guys are the Levi Squad, and you guys, again, top tier talents that just continue to go ahead. And like Lexi mentioned, you guys are feeding us knowledge, right?
Definitely.
And it's amazing. You guys are awesome. Don't think about it too much, Kyron. Just accept it for what it is now, because it's just,
you guys are the top ranks, top of the top.
We can obviously go ahead and come up with ideas. We're fluid here, right? But,
let them cook.
But yeah, obviously, if anything else comes better along the lines, we'll go ahead and we'll continue on and creating our awesome, whatever we want to refer to ourselves as. But you guys
the same roles. None of you guys have to decide who Otoo is. You guys are yourself.
No. Yeah, you guys aren't like, oh my god, I'm the Jean of the new Levi Squad. No, you guys are you, but you guys are just the top talents, literally, who just.
You guys are OGs.
Yeah, and yeah, love you guys. But also that means that I'm Captain Levi. So. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be Hanji somewhere on the side. Section Commander Hanji.
Yeah. And then we know that because Eddie has casted Zach as this character, so we also now know that Zach is Irvin. So, yeah. I still think those are some very, very big shoes to fill.
Yes, definitely.
But then again, so is Hanji. Yes. And I'm over joking like Levi. Like, I'm not Levi. Again, if I'm talking characters here, like, I'm perfectly fine with, again, Eddie casting me as Grisha. Like, I'm Grisha. I'll be Zach's dad. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll be Zach's dad. Yeah.
Actually, no. That's if Zach was Zeke. So I can't be his dad if he's not Zeke, right? He's Irvin. And we're going to talk about Irvin's dad in this episode, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and kind of do a little
bit.
callback and stuff. And yeah, it's very sad. We're going to go ahead and get some questions answered about how certain characters, like, what happened to them. But I'd make a good Connie. But yeah,
I don't doubt it.
So I want to go ahead and kind of climb up to the chat a little bit and some of the stuff earlier where he said, I've been trying to get Captain Boggy to get on the pod. And then, Kyron mentioned we have to kidnap Boggy, force him to watch the stream. Yeah. So Captain Boggy, if you're watching this, listening to this, and this is coming from past AJ and past Lexi, we miss you, Captain Boggy. We hope that you're doing well. And yeah, join us, man. Join us on Sundays when we stream. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, Captain Boggy. Yeah, we hope that all of our Levi squad members are doing well, and even the ones that we're missing, the ones I didn't refer to. I mean, even the ones that don't join us live and they're listening, and when the episodes are published, we hope that you guys are all doing well, and we just really appreciate you guys' support. So, yeah, but I mean, we're all here to have a good time, and yeah, so. Speaking of good time, we are going to go ahead and talk about a really interesting episode.
Yeah.
Not a lot of good comes out of this episode.
Good time. Forget about that.
This episode's going to come to, again, this is episode 2, going to come to its conclusion. And we're going to find out that, again, there's a lot of shady business, man. And whatever you do, if you're living in the city of Trost, the Trost district, do not be out there at night.
Yeah, do not.
Stay indoors. Do not be outside.
Not at night.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. There's a lot of crazy stuff happens at night. So that's all I'm going to say. You guys will completely understand when we're done with this episode. But yeah, of course, we have some stuff to go ahead and cover, Lex. We got to go ahead and cover the Q&A. We got to cover the poll results. So I'll go ahead and let you decide which one you want to start with.
I have the Q&A up, so I'll start with the Q&A.
Perfect.
So, last week, we went ahead and asked you guys, just to give context for the question. John apologizes to Levi for hesitating to kill a person, but Levi tells John he doesn't know what's right anymore. We saw this scene in the last episode that I wasn't at, but... Yeah. I watched it. I get it. We asked, is there a specific moment that causes Levi to not know what's right anymore? And we have 3 responses.
Okay, awesome.
So, first response is from our very loyal friend of the show, Bobby7.
Bobby B. Dennis. So, Bobby, so obviously we got B. Dennis, but then Bobby over on his Instagram, he's, what is the Instagram name?
The Instagram name is Bobby7_.
Awesome. So Bobby7_. B. Dennis, friend of the show. What does Bobby got to say?
He says, learning what he's actually killing in those Titans.
Yeah.
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 That one is, you could like see it on it, even though he is more of like a numb, very like composed person. You never really see him you don't really see a whole lot of reaction.
Yeah.
In his face, but I feel like you could tell in his eyes, or even like just knowing that after it was like questioned.
Yeah, it's a theory. This is the theory that they got here, right?
Yeah,
so again, it's like, this is the theory. This is what we believe happened. Obviously, there were no casualties. There was no bloodshed. The horses were all still in the stable.
Yeah.
The houses were all destroyed. What the heck happened? And then this theory being that the people became Titans. And then, like you mentioned, that sudden realization that Levi now has to accept the fact that I have been trained to kill these monsters, and I've been doing it like damn well too.
Yeah.
But these are people.
Yeah.
Like,
I like how he adds that in there too. He was like, basically, like, he kind of like gives himself a little, not a little kudos, but he's like, I've been
he's tooting his horn for sure.
Very skillfully killing people.
And it's something that I talked about last week with Zach, is that could this be an example of him having a Jean hesitating moment? Because again, you mentioned that we see emotion from Levi that we don't see, that we hardly see.
Yeah.
And it's a moment where it's like, as we see Levi having to digest that information, he almost is kind of like frozen. And he's kind of just like...
We don't usually see a kind of like regretful look.
No.
I mean, Levi is never a regret. he's never really felt a whole lot of regret. I don't think.
Yeah.
Or at least he doesn't let himself.
Well, I think he's also convinced himself to the point where it's like all of his actions is for survival.
Yeah.
Right.
Or it's like it's unavoidable. Like some deaths are just unavoidable. Like,
yeah.
It's just, I mean, with the amount of deaths that he's been responsible, I use that term very loosely for. I mean, I'm sure that he's at the point now where he's like, regret isn't in my vocabulary anymore.
Yeah. And so obviously we see this emotion coming from him, right? And yeah, I was like, man, you know what? If again, everything is changing so quickly. It's all changing on the daily, hourly, whatever the case is. We're getting these new informations. These characters are getting new informations, and it's like, man, it's how are these characters supposed to go ahead and kind of cope with, again, with like using Levi as an example. Now you have to go ahead and accept the fact that you have killed so many people. You know. And I think that's perfect. With it, that's probably the first example that's going to come to mind when you think of like, is there a moment that really causes Levi to now realize that it doesn't matter about what's right, what's wrong. Hell, I don't even know what's right and wrong anymore. It's just we have to do what we got to do to survive.
Yeah.
You know, and
like all we know is that we need to. Yeah, pretty much it. Like what's right is that we need to live. We need to survive. And
yeah. So, I mean, yeah, he's a very strict person, so he knows that it's like, again, it's something that these characters are now realizing, and we're going to go ahead and cover it again, you know, with again, Armin realizing what he did and how he's kind of coping with that. Jean, same thing too. It's very cool that in this episode we're going to get little callbacks, right? And yeah, it's something, again, it's constantly changing, but you know, it's like Levi what the hell am I trying to say? Levi pretty much knows now that like, look, I can't go ahead and think twice about how I feel about the situation, because I know that he informed his Levi squad that if I think, I die, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, screw all that morality, that moral compass is out the window, right? I mean, we've mentioned it so many times already, and
just do what you got to do to survive.
Yeah. So we've got to cover 2 more, right?
Yes, we have 2 more. So the next one is from Eddie.
Ooh, Eddie, what's Eddie got to say?
Eddie says, when Kenny abandons him.
Ooh, so Eddie's going way back.
Yeah, he's going.
Okay.
He's going that childhood trauma.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? That's also another very valid response, because
For sure.
I mean, we saw a very quick glimpse of what Levi looked like as a child. Very
did not
malnourished.
Really look the happiest or the healthiest.
Yeah, and I would imagine that Levi didn't have anybody, so when he finally had this kind of like father figure, regardless of this father figure being a good influence, right? I mean, this is the person that literally trained Levi to become the skillful weapon that he is. And yeah, I mean, there's obviously going to be that attachment towards that mentor, towards that father figure. And so, yeah, Eddie has a great point that the moment that Kenny decides to go ahead and really now focus on himself and have his own priorities and really, you know, decides to go ahead and really focus on his hobby, who knows how that affected Levi.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember exactly if we go ahead and even cover that, but I'm excited again to go ahead and when we get to that arc, get to that story, and really remind ourselves what Levi was really feeling, and all that.
Because that could have been the moment that really, like, to this day, really sits with him, where it's like, oh, you can't rely on anyone to help you along the way. You just need to hope that they will stick around, and then like all you have is you, kind of thing. Because he does seem very much like the lone wolf type, which is very, I mean, that could very well be from Kenny abandoning him, or that could be from him just not wanting to get attached to anyone because he thinks that everyone around him is going to die. Yeah, which unfortunately, I mean, we've seen with Levi. I mean, he has this new Levi squad because his other Levi squad, I mean, unfortunately, they all passed away. They got murked by like a very, very formidable foe. Yeah, very formidable foe for sure. And maybe the most merciless, perhaps, but
Yeah, and I mean, even seeing Levi's reaction to him seeing their bodies, you know, he's dealt with so much loss, and like you tell, he just really was unaffected by it.
Yeah.
You know, until he kind of the first time we actually see him showing somewhat of emotion was when he sees Petra, right? But even then, it's like a numb state
Yeah, I
of
was gonna
mind.
say he
He's
looks
just like
just so numb.
he just has to continue on. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, Kenny's probably the first real like person that he had in his life, right?
Yeah, because his mom was pretty much dead.
Yeah.
His mom was dead,
Yeah.
and he didn't really have anyone. He really just had Kenny.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a great response, Eddie. Thank you so much. And then, yeah, it's something that, again, I didn't even think about, you know? And I love when Eddie does these deep dives. I love it.
Yeah, they just seem to have just some insight that I could never really think of.
Yeah.
Or at least it wouldn't be my first thought. All right, so last response we have by the username, I'm going to try to pronounce this. Sorry if I mispronounce it. Username Renanel. Renanel. Renanel.
Okay.
9614. Renanel.
That doesn't sound right.
Renanel.
Renanel.
They say, whether there are good or bad people, you defend yourself before they kill you, which isn't necessarily a specific moment, but
it's the mindset,
specific,
right?
Yeah, mindset.
Yeah.
Maybe a thought.
Yeah. It's like
that
something
makes
we were just
don't know
talking
what's
about.
right or wrong anymore. It just kill people before they kill you.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, again, that's a great point because it was something we were just discussing about how not new, but it's this mentality that Levi has. And it's something where he knows that, look, regardless of what the orders are, hey, if I have to go ahead and kill people to ensure
your own survival, your people's survival.
Yeah, that's the thing is that he's even, he's the captain of a squad because he's looking out for, his squad. So, he obviously is responsible for these lives. And so, I mean, even him, he can't hesitate for a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like that. Yeah, definitely it was that's
a different take on the
referring to
response, but
this mentality.
think of it more as a mindset change.
Exactly, the mindset that Levi has now.
Which
Very
I mean,
cool.
I think these are all very valid. Yeah, these are all very valid.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much, Bobby and Eddie and Rena Nell. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but yeah, these are all great responses. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys so
check out
much.
for future polls on Attack the Talk podcast on Instagram, where we put our polls and our questions. So let's get into the poll.
Yeah, real quick. Eddie's asking. I want to ask you, Lex. Eddie says, "Hey, I thought Bobby 7 was Bogdorgan."
No, Boggy.
Is Captain Boggy also Bobby?
I don't think so, because I know we somehow made the connection that B. Dennis and Bobby are the same person.
Yeah, I don't think they're the same. But I mean, hey, Bobby, if you are Captain Boggy, then let us know.
Yeah, then we were mistaken.
Yeah,
because it's B. Dennis on it's B. Dennis on Spotify.
Yeah,
but obviously Bobby 7 on. I think we connected it because it is B. Dennis 7, and then there's Bobby 7, and we thought the B was Bobby. If you want to tell us your guys' names.
No, you guys don't have to do that.
But yeah, if you're Boggy.
No, I thought Captain Boggy was someone else. But like I said, Bobby, if you're listening and you are Captain Boggy.
Yeah. And
let
we're
us know.
confusing it. I mean, we never been corrected that B. Dennis is Bobby. I feel like there was a thing where he responded as B. Dennis and said that he is Bobby.
Yeah.
And then you have Bogged Oregon as a separate thing.
Or maybe even early on, like in one of our first podcast episodes when we're actually streaming, I could have sworn we had Captain Boggy and we had B. Dennis joining us.
Same, yeah.
So I could be recalling that.
We may have never seen them in the same room. I don't know. Maybe they're the same.
Yeah. All right. Well,
let's get into
the poll.
The poll now. We asked you guys last week, why was Armin apologizing after talking to Mikasa?
Okay, so very quickly, the reason why obviously we're gonna go ahead and speculate here, right? But Armin is apologizing after asking Mikasa, pretty much, is that what it was like, right? But then he very quickly apologizes. And something we talked about with Zach last week is Zach had a couple different reasons why he's apologizing, right? And they're all very valid. When we get to these poll results, I mean, I don't think there's any wrong answer, because the thing is we don't know. But again, it's kind of just, we were curious to see where people thought that, what the potential kind of apology, the reason for this apology, where we stand with it, like what again, the meaning of why he's sorry and stuff, because it could be different reasons. So, all right, Lex.
So we'll take a vote.
Yeah.
On our Attack the Talk podcast Instagram community. So not in any particular order, just the options are because Eren was just kidnapped again, for bringing up a touchy subject, he's apologizing to the woman he killed, or for showing weakness, which are all very valid.
Yeah.
It could be any one of these, but again, in normal fashion, from lowest to highest, we actually have 2 ties.
Really?
Yeah. So we have a tie for last and a tie for first.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, with the lowest tie being tied at 15%, is for bringing up a touchy subject, and he's apologizing to the woman he killed.
Wow.
Those are 2 at the bottom. Or second place, however you want to think about it.
Yeah.
And then we have, for tie at the top, at 35%, it's because Eren was just kidnapped again, or for showing weakness. Which, interesting, we have a double tie.
Yeah, that's super cool that we have a double tie. It's cool.
I'm going to go change that.
Let's talk about the tie for second place, right? And
the 15%.
So the first one we have is because of Armin's apologizing, because he is actually apologizing to the woman he killed. And the reason why that could be true is because, I mean, I think something that Zach mentioned is that as in that moment, in that scene, as it kind of fades to the next moment that we see in the episode, Zach mentioned that he recalls that Armin is like apologizing multiple times.
Okay.
Right? And Armin, we talked about him. I mean, Armin, he's a very caring person.
A sweetheart, yeah.
He has he's very empathetic, and for him to go ahead and kill this person who he's talked about, he's speculating that person was probably a good person because that woman hesitated, right, in killing John.
Yeah.
And it's something that Armin is feeling in that moment. We know that Armin literally is sick to his stomach, and Mikasa's there, kind of just being there for him, but Armin very well could have just been apologizing to that woman, right? And yeah, again,
like, sorry you had weird to go out that way.
Yeah, it's weird because, I mean, obviously he's apologizing after he asked Mikasa the question, so obviously that kind of like, immediately puts you, it makes you think that, oh, he's apologizing to Mikasa, right? But again, Armin very well could be apologizing to that woman because, again, obviously there's something that's going to stick with him for a while. But then what's the other option that we have? It's
and then the other one is for bringing up a touchy subject.
Yeah. And again, that's another thing we talked about where it's like, man, I didn't realize that Mikasa's first time killing a person was so impactful for her because, again, it's when she literally was kidnapped and by those human traffickers and stuff, just so young. And these men, they killed her mother. And, again, she had a sudden kind of brief moment of hesitation, but then she like unlocked that strength that she has, that inner strength, right? And then so she murdered a grown man. And again, like you mentioned,
another like moral compass thing where it's just like kill or be killed.
Yeah. And I mean, you can very well say that is the moment where Mikasa then suddenly became this very kind of like stone cold type person, and I forgot again where it's like, man, that moment changed her life, right? It was going to change regardless because unfortunately, again, like her mom died and stuff, but she now tapped into this strength, and she killed somebody, and that's something
like something activated in her.
Yeah, and I'm sure that of all people, Armin's gonna know how much that impacts her to this day, right? And so maybe again, Armin is apologizing because, shoot, I'm sorry, I asked you about something.
Yeah,
that's
I didn't mean to bring up some ill feelings.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, yeah, like that very well could be the response. That could be why he's apologizing. So.
All right, so let's bring up the tied for first at 35% is because Aaron was just kidnapped again, or for showing weakness.
Now, let me ask you, Lex, which one are you leaning towards? Because we have Eddie saying that Eddie's
just the first two.
The first two, right? So tied for first because we have Eddie chiming in saying that he voted for showing weakness, right?
I think he apologizes. I think the more realistic reason would be for showing weakness. So I'm right there with Eddie.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, of course, I'm sure he still apologized that Aaron got kidnapped again, but maybe not in that scene.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, what's funny is that, like, the more I think about any of these certain, any of these possible reasonings, for him apologizing, I mean, it's like, man, they all make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Like,
right?
especially to Armin's character. Like you said, he's so caring and he's just, especially with Mikasa, like knowing how bonded they are and everything. Of course, it's very real that he would feel any sentiment or any empathy or any sympathy to apologize to the woman he killed, apologize for being kidnapped, apologize for showing weakness because that's not something that he's supposed to show.
Yeah.
That's not a trait you're really supposed to have in the Levite squad. But I think it's what makes Armin stronger, actually. I think it's a really good motivator for him. Or for, like, I'm sorry, I brought up ill feelings.
Yeah.
Like, any one of these is very realistic.
Yeah, they're all very valid reasonings for, apologizing and stuff, right? And, I mean, yeah, I think that, if I were to go ahead and kind of vote for one, then, yeah, I think I'm right there with you guys, because, like you mentioned, Levite, or being a part of the Levi squad, it's like, oh, we mentioned New York at the top of the top and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, man, like, I can't be showing this kind of weakness and stuff, right? And we know that for Armin, he is like his own worst enemy, right? He is so critical of himself, and
very much so.
He is, he
makes him very human, though.
A lot of times he even thinks that, he's not even worthy of certain roles and stuff, like leadership roles, strategizing and stuff like that, and it's not, sometimes it takes literally other characters to tell him, like, look how far we've come because of your plans, your strategies, and your leadership, right? And then it's like, oh, shoot, maybe it's like, man, he has to kind of constantly apologize to himself or apologize to people for showing this weakness, right?
Yeah.
For kind of like going back to old Armin.
Yeah.
And all that. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And again, obviously, you don't want to lose the hope for humanity, right, in Aaron. And obviously, we aren't aware yet of how important Historia is. We're going to go ahead and learn in this episode how important she is. But when you lose those characters and you are the one steering the wagon, then yeah, it's like, damn, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm like, but difficult situation because, you got Kenny's squad there.
Yeah.
So
will be killed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but.
So very cool. Thank you guys all who voted. Again, there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, all of these answers make sense in my eyes. So, yeah, very cool.
Yeah. Thank you guys for all your responses. Look out for more polls and more questions on Attack the Talk podcast on Instagram.
Yeah.
On our
definitely.
stories.
All right. Before we get into the recap, I just want to go ahead and again shout out to NatePlaysBad. You guys,
yes.
If you guys haven't seen already, go check out the YouTube channel because Nate has been putting in some serious work. For those of you guys who maybe watched the episodes over on YouTube, you guys go ahead and see that,
he's been putting in work.
That we were lacking some sort of, thumbnails and all that stuff, and then it's something
a little bit of that look.
Yeah, it's just and then with with Nate that he really wanted to go ahead and take the creative control and then make the podcast that I mentioned last week, that he wants to make it look better. He makes it look visually appealing and all that. And so if you guys haven't already, please go ahead and check out the YouTube channel. Just look at the videos that we have and look at just the work that Nate has been putting in, because all of our past episodes have amazing thumbnails because of Nate.
Yes.
So go ahead and check out the different thumbnails that Nate created. They all look pretty amazing, and
they all
again,
look really professional.
yeah. And Nate, again,
quality.
I want to go ahead and just shout you out, my friend. Thank you so much again for all the effort and all the work and stuff. And yeah, Nate wants to make sure that with YouTube that we have some creative thumbnails. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
so much, Nate.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. So
Woo. Okay.
Lexi, go ahead and recap us. Okay.
I know. I'm like, I wasn't
person-
here, but
person who
I
wasn't here.
watched it.
Sorry. So Zach's giving me some updates and all that with where he's at.
All right,
So
cool.
hopefully Zach's gonna be able to join us. But let me go ahead and respond to Zach real quick.
He'll come in right at the perfect time that it'll be like his turn to
His turn to go ahead and say one of his characters. I told him, man, we're gonna get some Flagel content in this episode, and I told Zach, you are gonna be Flagel, okay? And I wanted Zach to bring Flagel to life.
Yes.
Kyrie said, I'm putting my friend on the spot. It's his first time in the stream. Welcome in, Valo. You'll make a fine warrior.
Welcome in, Valo.
All right.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for spreading the word, Kyron. Bringing
Thank
in your
you
friends.
for putting your friend on the spot.
for just putting your friend on blast.
Yeah.
But it said that he'll make a
fine warrior.
make a fine warrior.
Yeah.
So-
Hell yeah. Also, Kyron, I wanted to tell you, man, that I updated Zach. If you didn't hear last week's episode, I updated Zach. I told him the story about how you inherited the cart Titan. Zach thought it was pretty crazy. And yeah. So go ahead, check that out from last week's episode. But yeah, we went over and talked about it for a good while. And yeah, Zach is proud of you for being a Titan, but also he's like a cart Titan. We all had the same kind of sentiment, but yeah. Zach also did like a ton of math to go ahead and find out how fast you can travel at top speed and how long it would take you to go ahead and full on sprint from Louisiana to California.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly the math, but yeah, she got Zach. Yeah, I made sure to go ahead and update Zach on all that. Didn't want Zach to miss the cart Titan talk. Alrighty, guys. So now we're gonna go ahead and do some recap. We talked about a little bit of recap. Very true, Kyron. Stamina. That's one thing I asked. So I was like, okay, the stamina. Is Kyron gonna be able to go ahead and run top speed? Because pretty much what I remember is that it would take you 8 hours to run from Louisiana to California, right? That's straight line. Okay. I was like, man, will Kyron not get tired? Will he be able to go ahead and just sprint for those complete 8 hours?
Stamina, a lot of water. You're gonna need a lot of carbs.
But then Zach was like, I don't care.
Depends on the weather.
Zach's like, I don't care. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Okay.
If it's like hailing or snowing.
Yeah.
Raining.
And I think Zach just wants to be that person who is like being like pretty much like traveling through places while he's on like a cart Titan or something.
Yeah. While he's on, yeah.
But I think that your stamina would be okay, because I don't think I've ever seen the cart Titan like
Tired.
Yeah.
Me neither.
All right. So I'm trying to go ahead and talk about some recap and what's important that we need to go ahead and recap. We know that there he is, the sun god himself. What's
Yay,
up?
The sun god himself.
I love it.
Hello, Valo. Hello.
What's up, man? Please let us know how you're doing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, welcome,
yeah.
welcome. You are always welcome.
I hope that you watched every single one of our episodes up to this point, so you're fully caught up. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us here.
We're actually gonna quiz you after.
But yeah, so with the Levi squad, we know that everybody has survived, right? We know that John hesitated, but Kyron killed that woman. No,
Yeah,
Armin killed the woman who was a member of Kenny's squad, and we know that they're dealing with all that. They pretty much decided to go ahead and retreat because there's nothing else that they can do. They can't chase after the wagon after they escaped with Aaron and Historia, right? Mm-hmm. So you kind of have to go ahead and retreat and try to recover. And plus, they still have an ace up their sleeve.
Yeah.
And that being Mr. Demo Reeves, the merchant. They know that they tied him up. He's pretty much been kidnapped. He was a part of the kidnappers. Now he is the kidnappee.
How do you like it?
Yeah, and so him and his stupid son Flagel are there. Yeah. Sun God said he's down for a quiz. No, I'm not down for a quiz.
No, we're not gonna quiz.
I can't even remember all of the stuff we talked about. I'm kidding.
I'm like, yeah, you do the recap because I'm concussed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a reoccurring excuse for sure.
That's definitely the excuse you're going to hear. You're going to hear every hour on the hour.
But yeah, so now that we know that Captain Levi is trying to go ahead and recruit Mr. Demo Reeves because Demo Reeves obviously knows more than he's letting on. He's a part of this plan, whatever, right? So they want to know where the heck they're taking Aaron and Historia. And as I mentioned, obviously we were introduced again to that Charter of Humanity, that council, right? What's that all about? We know that Kenny is still there waiting in the shadows, right? Remember that, guys. Remember that.
We're still in that arc. We still got Kenny.
Yeah. And, we're going to go ahead and find out what's going to happen next. Can you hear that too? Can you guys hear?
Can you guys hear that?
Can you guys hear our little dog who is...
Spoiled little dog.
Yeah, who is...
Spoiled old man.
Yeah, who's throwing a fit right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, so we're going to go ahead and finally cover the end of episode 2. Here we are again, season 3. This episode again is named Pain, and Dog Titan.
Yeah, that's what it is actually.
Hold on, Kyron. So remember we were talking about baby zombie.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
I will say it was more of like a toddler zombie.
Yeah, but regardless, man. Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, damn it, that's exactly what Kyron was talking about.
No, it literally like scenes would come and be like, this is it. This is it. No, it's not it. Not this one. This scene. This one's it. No, it's not it. Yeah. And then we finally got to it. And we're like, oh, got
there it is. Yeah, I wasn't ready for it, but I was looking out for it because of the reference.
Yeah.
But here we go, guys. We're gonna go ahead and talk about this episode. We're gonna go ahead and finish off again season. We're gonna finish off season 3. No, we're gonna go ahead and finish off episode 2 of season 3.
The rest of the 20.
My mind is all over the place right now.
21 episodes actually.
Oh yeah.
The 23 episodes. We're gonna go through the rest of them.
Karen or Eddie's asking.
22 episodes.
What breed though?
What breed is our dog titan, or would a dog titan be?
Let me ask you guys, what breed do you think would make the best dog titan? I think we kind of know what maybe you can go ahead and think about. There's a couple different breeds that are like, okay, they would make pretty badass titans. I want to say
Corso.
Our dog would not make a good...
No, our dog would not.
Yeah.
Especially at his age. His 13 years are...
I was saying Husky for sure. Okay. Husky's definitely up there.
Huskies are a little dramatic, though.
Yeah, Rivalo, Pitbull. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Pitbull also. But...
I was thinking Cane Corso. Cane Corso.
Those are those big dogs, right?
Yeah, those are like brutal.
Yeah. Damn. Well, I mean, here's the thing though, is that like let's talk about you having this dog titan. You obviously want to have
Chihuahua.
You obviously want to have a dog titan that is going to be, at least you can train this dog titan. You don't want to go ahead and have this big old freaking beast of a titan.
Yeah.
That you can't control, and it's just like, all right, whenever this dog becomes that. Ooh,
yeah, Doberman's a good one. I was thinking about that too.
But whenever this dog becomes its dog titan form, that is just gonna go on a full on just like killing spree.
Yeah.
You know,
a little merciless.
Yeah.
This is my guard dog. He's 13 meters tall.
Damn.
On all fours.
Jeez. All fours, 13 meters?
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Gotta love dogs.
Our dog titan would not make our dog would not make a good titan.
No.
He's a Pomchi, if you guys know what that is. But not like the cute Pomchis that have the Pomeranian hair. Just
no.
He just looks like a Chihuahua.
Old man Pomchi.
He's just an old man Pomchi.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, spoiler warning.
Let's go ahead and let's cover this. All right, guys, here we go. We're finally going to talk about it. This is going to be part 3. This is pain. So we continue the episode, guys, and we see a wagon riding through the forest during the dark of night.
The Dark Knight.
The wagon we see is covered and protected, much like the wagon that Aaron and Historia were hidden away in. We can see what appears to be 2 squad members, one leading the wagon and another trailing closely behind. Now inside of the wagon, we see those 2 same 1st Interior Squad MP officers who were standing guard at the scene of Pastor Nick's death. Yeah, those assholes. Remember those guys? The guys who wouldn't even freaking let Hanji go ahead and be in there and see, her poor friend. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guys who were pretty much,
but was so stupid that he stayed at the scene and had the
guy still had the bloody knuckles and all that and the freaking right. But yeah, these are the guys.
Very hard to figure out that you're guilty, but anyways,
they didn't show the respect to Hanji. But anyways, here we are. We see them again, and they're in this wagon, right? Mm-hmm. And again, they're the ones that are getting this kind of secluded escort, and we remember the guy's name, the main guy, his name is Sanes.
Yes.
Right? He's the MP officer that demeaned Hanji, and he asked the driver of the wagon, "Hey, how did you find them anyway?" And the driver answers, "They found me. I promised them I'd cooperate, and for some reason they believed me." And then the wagon hits a sudden stop. We see that Sanes, he peeks his head out and he asks, "Are we there?" But then Sanes is met with a rifle pointing directly at his face. And then upon further inspection, we can see that these people escorting them, right? Mm-hmm. We can see Captain Levi and his Levi squad. They have orchestrated this trap, and we can see that Jean, he actually is the one pointing the rifle at Sanes.
Yeah.
Here you go, Jean, your first test.
Yeah.
Right? Are you going to hesitate again? But then Sanes, he begins to panic. But just before Sanes could cry out for help, Jean does not hesitate, and he hits Sanes in the face with the butt of the rifle. All right, okay, Jean, there we go.
A little bit of redemption going on.
Yeah. No hesitation there. He's like, he sees, boom.
Yeah.
Hell no, bro. Go ahead.
I mean, business this time.
Yeah. And then Sanes, he falls inside of the wagon. We see that he's now unconscious. And the other MP officer calls out, "Reeves, you piece of..." But then the MP, he too, is met with a strike from a rifle as we see Mikasa holding that rifle in hand. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Mr. Reeves." Yeah. So now we are aware that it was Demo Reeves who was the driver of this wagon. And Demo tells the unconscious MPs, "Sorry, gents. That's how it is."
Okay.
And then we now fast forward, and we can see that the wagon has arrived at its destination, this hidden location, and members of the Levi squad can be seen unloading the unconscious MP bodies. Now, Flagle, who is there, he's sitting shotgun next to his father. He asks his father nervously, "What happens now? Do you think this means we'll be safe?" And then Demo tells his son, "There's no guarantee." But now Flagle begins to panic as he says, "Say what? Then why do we do it?" And then Demo smacks Flagle in the back of the head to calm him down and responds, "A good merchant has to learn to trust his nose. And not just to smell easy money, but to sniff out the potential for future profit too. Once you have, you bite and you don't let go. You remember that, son." And then we see Flagle. He's just looking at his father. He's listening as he's rubbing the back of his head.
I'm like, dude, that stung.
Okay, let's go ahead and kind of talk about this moment here because we see that, again, now there's a plan kind of in effect here, and we see in that kind of how things played out with Levi trying to recruit Demo is that he says that he has kind of a plan in mind. Mm-hmm. And we see that it looks like this is his plan. How they were aware of where these 2 first Interior, military police officers were, I don't know. I'd imagine maybe Demo was aware of that. Maybe Demo felt that they trusted them, that these 2 people trusted him enough to go ahead and pick him, for him to pick them up. And so how it all kind of fell together, don't know. But we know that this is the plan that Levi had in mind. And the reason why, again, these guys are important because you mentioned, Lex, that they weren't very smart with hiding their fingers, hiding their hand, hiding
their evidence, their guilt.
That both of these men were a part of
but evidence.
Yeah, but they were the ones who killed Pastor Nick. At least we know that they were involved, right? They tortured him. So I wonder what Hanji's going to do to them. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll get to that, of course. But Demo driving this wagon, right? We see that he's got his son next to him.
Yeah.
We have a nice little father-son moment here.
To bring your son to work.
To work, yeah.
To work day.
And yeah, so we know now that these two first interior officers have been kidnapped, and we don't know exactly where Levi and the Levi squad are taking them. We just know that it's in a kind of hidden location. I want to say it's almost like it reminds me of, again, like the castle where they kind of were at, but I know it's not the castle. But
not Utgard, but
no. Utgard is destroyed.
Yeah,
but it's kind of like where I want to say the first Levi squad, where they kind of were hiding away at.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think they would go to that same spot because, I mean, obviously, in this moment,
they did take the effort to clean it before.
Yeah. But what's important to remember, too, guys, is that scout activity literally is against the law now. Like, it's illegal. And scouts can't be a thing. So why are you going to go back to, the Levi squad, the old base, right? Yeah. We don't want to do that. So I don't know exactly where they're at, but we know that they're hidden away, and they have now these two very important individuals who know a lot. Now, let's talk about Jean. This was pretty cool to go ahead and see this kind of, Jean's learning. He's obviously one thing that, me and Zach talked about last week is that Jean, he's feeling that guilt. I mean, you had the two different sides of the coin here. You have Armin, who's feeling that guilt and that heaviness on his shoulders for killing a person.
Yeah.
But then you have Jean, who's feeling that guilt for just being so ashamed of freezing in that moment and not being able to pull that trigger. And he even apologizes to Levi and he says, look, I thought that what you were ordering me to do was wrong, but I realize now that I can't be thinking that way. It's kind of like what one of our responses was. It's like that mentality now, that new mindset that you need to have. And
this new mentality.
Jean realizes that I need to have this mindset, and he's trying to apologize and he's saying, look, Captain Levi, it's not going to happen again. But then Levi, of course, tells him, look, I never said what you did was wrong. My moral high ground is shot to hell because I don't know what's right and what's wrong anymore. And it's cool that Levi was able to go ahead and at least give that to Jean, right? But Jean still, he's aware. I can't do that again. I can't put my own life in somebody else's hands.
Not as easy. It's not very easy, but
and
still knows can't do that.
Yeah, and so for to see Jean here, and I wonder, do you think Levi had Jean lead for a reason, for a test, to see maybe if he was going to go ahead and not show any signs of weakness or whatever, and stuff?
It very well could have been a test by Levi. Just obviously not just for himself. Just be like, let's see if Jean really can. Like, he probably in his head was like, yeah, Jean can. Like, I understand that there was a hesitating moment. Just hope that it doesn't happen again. Yeah. He's capable of it. Let's just hope that it's sooner than later. In
that moment, too, when Sanez peeks his head out from the wagon, Levi is right there next to Jean, right? So obviously if
just in case
shit went to hell,
maybe not complete trust in Jean yet.
Yeah. That, Levi's right there. He would be able to go ahead and kind of control the situation. But the fact that the guy literally is about to cry out or whatever, and stuff, you're going to yell, who knows, maybe alert his, colleague there in the back, his other, squad member. John doesn't even give him the opportunity. He goes and he just, boom, butt of the rifle right there in the mouth, causes him to fall back and lights her out, right? And we know Mikasa's not going to hesitate to because, the other guy doesn't stand a chance either.
Yeah, not at all. Not against Mikasa.
Yeah. I will say, though, that
rifle in hand,
Jean did beat Mikasa to it because Jean didn't let Sanez go ahead and say anything. But Mikasa did let this other guy say, Demo, you piece of...
Yeah.
But then, boom, he's out.
Yeah. You piece of censored.
Yeah. What is Demo tell like, sorry, gents, it's just how it is or whatever, right? It's just business.
It's just the name of the game.
Yeah, we know this guy's all about business, and obviously he just cares about Reeves' company. Very important to him, and he knows that he needs his people to survive so that they can buy his stuff, right? Which is why he's kind of going along with the Levi squad. He's kind of like, hey, will you guys at least assure that my people aren't going to starve or whatever, blah, 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 whatever. And Levi said they can't completely guarantee that, but pretty much we'll do what we can. Just help us out and we'll help you. We'll see how far that help goes, but yeah. Cool little moment here. We see the tides are turning a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and let's continue. And now we see a door burst open as Hanji, in a hurry, enters and announces,
I made it! You haven't finished yet, have you?
Then we can also see that, of course, Moblit is there by her side. But now, inside of the room, we see Levi. And Levi turns around. And as Levi turns around, we notice that he's wearing a large apron with blood on it. And he's also wearing these large, heavy-duty gloves. You know that Levi doesn't like to get dirty.
Yeah.
And behind Levi, we see Sanes. He's like strapped to this chair. He's helpless. He's bloody. And he's beaten. And then we see a small table with these tortured like instruments that are there. And they can be seen right there beside him. And then Levi answers Hanji. No. Haven't even gotten my feet wet. Then Hanji, having her sights set on her next objective, warns.
Sanes, I'm only a novice at human torture, but while I lack experience, I plan to give this job my all.
And then Hanji picks up a wire cutter. But before Hanji can get any nearer, a fearful Sanes begs, Hold on! At least tell me what you want! Who the hell tortures someone without asking questions? And then that reminds Levi. Oh yeah, we do have some questions.
Oh, yeah.
And then Levi asks now, where were Eren and Historia taken? What do you want with Historia? And what is the Rice family? And before Sanes can even finish listening to the question, an eager Hanji screams out,
Come on! Can't you see that we're in a time crunch here?
And then Hanji approaches Sanes with the wire cutter. And then we get a look at that front of the door. Right? That door where you enter into this torture room. And we can hear Sanes and his tortured screaming. And in a separate room, now listening to the screaming, we see Mikasa, Armin, Jean, Connie, Sasha. They're all just waiting. And then Johnny states, Here we go again. And Sasha responds,
The screams seem a lot louder than they were when the captain did it.
And Connie adds, I know it's to save our friends, but it still makes me sick. And then Armin now informs the group the sad reality. Let's face the facts. We're criminals now. And then we see this reality making Jean, Sasha, and Connie all uncomfortable. Our last enemy wanted to eat us. We don't have an excuse like that for killing these people. It's just that their views are different. No. It's just that they're in another group. And for that, we'll take their lives. And then Mikasa notices Armin getting emotional as she tries to comfort him. And Armin continues, We're not good people. Not anymore, at least. Interesting.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Again, we go ahead and we see how these characters are kind of taking these new unfortunate reality.
Yeah.
Right?
Just trying to process it, but obviously they still just want to be so morally good.
Yeah. Like,
that it's just so hard to like face what's actually happening. You still want to think that what you're doing is good, what you're doing is the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just, when you put it on paper and you just face the facts, I mean, it's like you said earlier, nothing's black and white. There's not a specific line that's That's, oh, stay within this area, and then, you know, things are just. But then when you go over here, it's unjust. It's all very dependent on the situation. It's all very situational.
Yeah. You know, again, we talked about Jean. He's now trying to embrace this new mentality. He's trying to go and prove himself, so to speak. And then you have Armin, who is really feeling the weight of what he did. And now, again, realizing in this very somber tone that we go ahead and we see him. He literally is on the brink of like just like almost like tearing up and breaking down. But he's just like, man, he goes, like, we're not good people, you know? And we talked about Armin, how he is as a person. We know that he is a good person. But the fact that he did what he did, we know that, as I mentioned, he like the type of person to get in his own head, and he's going to go ahead and break himself down and stuff. And, you know, he's even explaining to the other Levi squad members that, like, what we mentioned, like, it's literally just, it's not about like enemies that want to eat us.
Yeah.
Like, we have to kill people for just being in a different group.
Yeah.
Right?
Just having different views.
Yeah.
Growing up differently. Just, I mean, given they are trying to kill you.
Yeah.
And overtake. But again, that same kill or be killed mentality.
Yeah, that's just what it is now. And then let's talk about Hanji here, because do you think Hanji was looking forward
my gosh,
to some redemption, some revenge on this fool?
Because the way that she went in was like, I'm here. Did you start without me? Did you? Yeah. Are you almost done?
Yeah. Kyron's saying cough, cough. Marley?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, Hanji was most definitely excited to go ahead and do this. I like how she's even kind of like almost like she's what's the term I'm thinking of? Like when you are trying to hide your own like abilities or whatever, you're trying to like, you know, make it seem like you're not like whatever.
She's
right?
Like trying to act.
She pretty much goes and she's like obviously telling like, look, like I gotta let you know, like
downplaying her own.
I am an amateur at torture, right? Yeah. But then she immediately goes for what I think what I think probably is like like those wire cutters.
Yeah.
Like you gotta think there's probably other instruments on that table that you can maybe start with.
Yeah.
And work your way to the wire cutter.
Yeah.
No, she's going straight for the wire cutter, and she like immediately she's like getting ready to go for it, almost like his face.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Clip his nose off.
And then he's like, you know, Sana was like, what the hell? Like, you're not even going to ask me any questions first?
Who tortures someone and doesn't ask questions? Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, Levi later is like, oh, yeah, we have questions.
I guess we do need to ask you something, huh?
Yeah. And we know that Levi had his fun a little bit at first because, I mean, as I mentioned, there's blood already on the apron. And even just looking at Sana's, I mean, he's strapped to this chair and he's you know,
not looking too hot.
Yeah, he's been beat up. So, but yeah, they got the guy. Also, I think it's funny too that Sasha mentions too is like wow, like he's screaming more.
Yeah, his screams are worse than with Levi.
With Levi, exactly. Yeah, she has vengeance.
She's vengeance.
But yeah, I definitely think that Hanji was Hanjins was.
Yeah, Hanjins.
I really think that Hanji was really, really looking forward to the moment that they captured this fool because of, again, that interaction that she had. And again, this guy being very disrespectful, very smug, and really discrediting her like credentials, you know, and really belittling her because he's like essentially like, what branch are you from, or whatever and stuff, you know. And it took Moblet to go ahead and really kind of instill that, like, he grabs this fool by the wrist because again, he's like literally trying to like manhandle Hanji, and then I love too when Moblet really like grabs him by the wrist, causes him to let go, and really going ahead and says like, you know, she's Section Commander Hanji.
Yeah.
Right. And so you know for a fact Hanji's like, all right.
He's got that confidence being built up.
Yeah. It's my turn to go ahead and...
We're slowly seeing that development. I see you, Moblet. I see you. All right. Let's go see what the hell they do to this guy. Yeah.
So,
Let's see if he ever actually has a chance to answer any of these questions.
Right. So now we return to the torture room to find Sanez now even more bruised and beaten. We can see now that his right eye is completely swollen shut, and his nose is now broken and just crooked. It's left just a bloody mess.
It's just pulp.
Hanji Sorry, Jesus, he's right at the door, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear.
Yeah.
Our old Pomchi.
Yeah, he is. It sounds like he's literally right outside the door.
Yeah. It's like, I know you guys are in there.
Yeah.
Give me that attention.
Yeah. We will. Hold on. Let us continue on with the episode.
Calm down.
But anyways,
I promise we're good dog owners. He's just spoiled.
Yeah. So yeah, Sanez is left this just even more bloody mess. Mm-hmm. And Hanji, she sarcastically tells Sanez,
sorry, I don't have your knack for peeling nails. Just how many did you have to rip off to get so good at it?
But then Sanez, he answers Hanji, more than I can keep track of. Within these cramped walls, war has never broken out, and I can tell you why. It's because we of the 1st Interior Squad dirtied our hands to protect the king's peace. A teacher too smart for his own good. As we see, a younger son is torturing this teacher, who is Irvin's father.
Okay.
Well, Sanez continues. A stupid couple who tried to fly. And again, we see now the Sanez, he's leading his squad to gun down Armin's parents before they can fly away on that hot air balloon. Sanez continues. A whore who screwed the wrong man. And we see Sanez watching one of his men slit the throat of Historia's mother right in front of just a very young Historia. No matter how they begged or plead, we erased them to protect humanity. You should be on your knees thanking me. In all of my years, I've never seen anyone take such pleasure from human suffering as you. You're both monsters. But I'm determined to face you without fear. Do what you will. For I have my faith. And I believe in the king and in peace within these walls. I believe that every last one of my wretched deeds was justified. But to think that it hurt this much. If you're going to torture me to death, get on with it. That sounds like a fitting end for this bloodstained life. Then Hanji and Levi both, what is that? We can a little barely though. What is that referring to?
Barely.
Oh, about our little dog?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't that. I was like, what? I had to go ahead and come back to you. I was like, okay.
Like, wait a
I'm
minute.
not Sonic. Okay.
I know. I don't have that mindset. Give me a little method there for a moment.
But after hearing all of this, we see now that Hanji and Levi, they both are just staring at Sanez. And then Levi says, time for a break. And then he and Hanji, they leave the room as we can hear a disappointed Hanji.
Ugh, damn it all. I'm starting to feel sorry for him.
The door closes, and we can see Sanez sitting there alone, stuck in his thoughts. Sanez, he then hears his squad member, who we are informed his name is Ralph. Mm-hmm. And Ralph can be heard saying, quit shoving me, it hurts. Then Sanez, he appears to grow concerned for his squad member as he hears Levi telling Ralph, how pathetic can you get? Can't believe you started talking after just one nail. And then Sanez, he gasps in a sudden surprise as he continues to hear Levi. Sanez doesn't have any nails left. He's a real soldier. And then Sanez hears Ralph responding. Like I care. He can get tortured all he wants. The guy never shuts up about peace and the king. The rest of us all just hate his goddamn guts. Just do us a favor and kill him already. And we see Sanez. Heartbroken. Betrayed. Sanez continues to listen as Levi now says, we're going to have to keep him around until he's verified what you told us. And we can now see that Ralph is actually reading from a script. A script that's being held by Hanji. And Ralph continues. Yeah? Well, you got everything you wanted out of me. So why don't you lay off already? And we can see that Hanji, she now is literally directing Ralph by having him follow along with her finger. Oh, and about my cell. It'll have a bed, right? And then we return to Sanes sitting there helplessly in his torture chair, alone in silence, alone in this empty room. And we can see that Sanes now just looks defeated, betrayed, empty inside. Sanes closes his eyes and he exhales this heartbroken breath. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know who this Ralph guy is, but rent was due. He really put his whole acting, every acting skill he's ever had into it. I mean, he's had to act like a good MP pretty much a large portion of his life, and act like peace and love is what he's after with all the dirty under the table stuff that they've been doing. So maybe that's where he's got the acting stuff from.
Yeah.
Yeah, good MP. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Kyron, high IQ, Levi and Hanji. Yeah,
definitely.
That was very smart of them to do, for sure. But we know that
this is obviously
really
what
smart.
Levi was referring to, right? When he says it's time to take a break. Mm-hmm. Because we see that this guy's not going to go ahead and give up any sort of information.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's breaking at all.
Yeah, he is very much like Pastor Nick. He's going to go ahead and take whatever he knows to the grave with him, right?
Like, I'm settled with, like he says the exact thing. Like, I have my faith.
Yeah, and he even
they
mentions
settled with their
look,
beliefs and with their faith, and
if you're going to go ahead and torture me and kill me, just get on with it.
Yeah.
Seems like a fitting end.
Yeah, seems fitting. Which super self-aware.
Yeah,
and which I did not pin. I did not peg Sanes as a self-aware dude.
Yeah. But we get these revelations of what the hell, like what some of his actions are, what he's done, right?
Like, and what the MPs have been behind.
Yeah, and these are brutal things, because these are literally these examples that we were given, they affect like some of
our main characters,
important characters that we have that are And the first one we have, he's talking about a teacher that knew too much, and obviously referring to Commander
Irvin's dad.
His dad. And, it's like, wow, to find out that, I'm trying to remember too, it's like with Irvin being so young and losing his father, like is he aware of just like, what the heck?
What?
Side note. Can you say, all right, you ready, Lex?
Okay, sure. Ready?
You lead it. You're the TikTok person.
I just do it.
Ready?
Know, can you say
I'm going to count and you lead it.
Okay.
Ready?
Sure.
1, 2, 3.
What's up, TikTok? Anyways.
I don't know what that was all for, Kyron, but you're welcome. I'm kidding.
You're welcome. Yeah. I expect some payment and some.
No, not at all.
Sign a non-disclosure agreement.
But yeah, I mean, so I'm trying to remember too with Irvin being so young, and he loses his father. Is he aware that his father is dead, or is it just like his father just disappeared and never came back? I can't remember exactly. I think we're actually going to go ahead and get into it next episode.
No, I was going to say, I think that there's a flashback.
Yeah.
In incoming episodes.
Yeah. So a little foreshadowing there, but again, this is another moment where it's like, damn, like you mentioned, the MPs have been behind some very, very shady stuff. Yeah. And another moment too is we see with Armin's parents. We know that with Armin, I mean, he has these aspirations to go ahead and look at these beautiful things outside of the walls. They keep referring to the sea, right? But then they talk about mountains. They talk about all these different things,
all
right?
These geographical features that obviously aren't in the wall.
Yeah, and I mean, he got this information from his parents, and we even kind of talked about, like, how do the parents are aware of this? What? Because we talked about this book that they had and stuff, and Eddie's reminding us that they are going to travel on hot air balloon, right? And I would imagine that's probably the only means of transportation.
Yeah, they don't
have
planes or
right?
anything. They don't have any. They don't have those technological advances.
Yeah, they don't.
In the island of Parody.
And Karen's saying volcanoes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, also volcanoes. Yeah. They have no idea. What
and even how they describe them too. It's like such like a what's the I want to say
It
this
sounds
very
so, like,
bright-eyed, like
mythological. Yeah.
bushy tail, like oh my god, like they have these snow-covered mountains and they
Yeah.
have like these
giant rocks that spit lava.
yeah, fire lakes, yeah, as Armin
Yeah,
called it.
fire lakes as he called. Yeah. Lakes of fire. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
and again, it's the fact that they don't know what these things really are, right? And it's a
They
crazy
make
thing.
it sound so like mythological and like,
Yeah.
so like fictional.
But then
Because
now,
they have, because I mean, when you're sheltered that long, you have no idea what an ocean is. Like obviously
Yeah.
to us, we're like, yeah, the ocean's filled with salt. And then you have Armin explaining like it's this humongous body of water that's just filled with salt.
yeah,
Meanwhile, you have Aaron being like, that's impossible.
yeah,
It would have all been fished out by now. Salt's way too valuable. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that's the thing. It's endless.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, no way.
Yeah, it's funny when they go ahead and they realize that it's actually salty
Yeah.
water. But again, to see that moment where literally this full Sinus is like literally commanding his MPs to go ahead and gun down Armin's parents, like it sucks, you know?
Yeah.
And then of course we're gonna go ahead and get more information about this specific moment later on in this
Does
season.
Armin know that that's how they died? I mean, I know that he knows that they
know.
are dead, but
I don't
does
know.
he
I
know
don't think
that
he does.
the MPs were behind that?
I don't think so.
And I'm sure that maybe Levi and Hanji aren't making that connection because I don't think they know that
Yeah.
how Armin's parents died.
Yeah, I don't think they are aware of it either.
I don't think that those are Armin's parents. That they know that those are Armin's parents.
Yeah. That he's referring to them. But I mean, maybe it'll come up. I don't know. I can't necessarily remember the complete details. Hopefully we do as we talk about again these episodes that we're going to go ahead and get some answers.
Who knows what info and all that?
Yeah. But of course, as I mentioned, he's...
I caught it.
Yeah, nice.
See that?
saw
I caught it. See, I am feeling better.
Yeah, and the moment where we see, again, this full son is orchestrating his men to go ahead and pretty much just have like a public execution of Historia's mother right there in front of Historia. Again, she is so young at this point. Like, what example are you trying to go ahead and get across? Like, what kind of evil person are you to go ahead and do this to this, this young girl, And
like right in front of her.
yeah, and obviously
And you like have the full on faith that you think that this is for peace.
yeah, and there's still
For the good of the king.
There's still no sympathy whatsoever because he refers to her as a whore.
Yeah. Still, yeah.
Like, how about the fool who end up, like impregnating this girl?
Yeah.
Like, how about that
Yeah.
dude?
They're just miscalculations.
Yeah.
They're not people. They're miscalculations.
Let's go ahead and get some chat real quick. Eddie's talking about, honestly, those are many things that we take for granted. It's crazy how Armin is so passionate when he talks about it. Just to see them later fully realize and venture out of the walls makes it fully like earned as far as like storytelling. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's basically that's pretty much a huge theme where it's like we need to go to the sea.
Yeah.
We're gonna go see the ocean.
And then it's a great point that you're mentioning here, Eddie, is because it's like once they finally reach it, it feels like it's such a huge accomplishment. It's like you mentioned, it feels like it's fully earned. And yeah, I mean, all the hell that they had to go ahead and get through just to get to that point. I mean, it's like when they see it for the first time with their own with their own eyes. It's like, again, they're just in awe of it. And it's definitely well earned and well deserved for sure when these characters get to finally go ahead and go outside the walls.
Yeah.
But yeah, we also realize too that outside of the walls isn't always what you make it out to be.
No, yeah. Grass isn't always greener.
Yeah. But Kyron also mentioned too, is it's crazy if you think about it. The island of Parody is in kindergarten while the rest of the world is like graduating from college.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Still, I will say that
In terms of like
Zeke-
the whole knowledge of
Zeke
Titans
was still
and humanity.
Zeke was still very interested in the technology that these scouts were using, the ODM gear, right? He was very, very interested. He's going to take it back over to his home and he's going to go ahead and tell his superior that, hey, I built this for you.
Yeah. And be like, look what I made.
Look what I made.
Let's utilize it.
Yeah.
So maybe it may not be the same curriculum that they're all
it definitely
learning.
isn't.
It's probably it seems like it's two different curriculums, but they both are doing pretty well with what they both have.
Yeah.
And what knowledge that they do have.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, that's a great point too, Kyron, is that they are so far behind in terms of technology and stuff. I mean, you look at the first episode when we see these people that are living over in the Shiganshina district. Yeah, we get it. This Shiganshina district, this is a district, a pocket district that is like literally the like outermost wall, right? You have like literally the wall, then you have the Shiganshina district that's just kind of like a pocket that's even further outside.
Yeah.
Right? And the people that live in Shiganshina, it's like, man, their clothes are all free and they're pretty much just rags and stuff, you know, and they just look so poor, and it's sad to see, you know, just like you think instantly, I was like, man, like poverty, you know, district here. And then obviously, you know, they want to instill in us that, hey, when you go further into the wall, you know, it's the nicer it gets, obviously. But it's like, man, you got these people who are just so freaking just like,
I mean, it makes sense, you know, like
they're just so
the less
smug
safety
and,
means the cheaper.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, but then it sucks to go ahead and see it, you know. It's like, man,
Yeah.
you know,
But seeing it unfold to like how it is like in real life, not to get deep or anything, but like how it's just like money really does equal comfort.
yeah,
And unfortunately that means that, you know, if you got the money, you can live deeper in the walls and be safer.
But also too, that the fact that these people aren't aware of how nice things are, sometimes, you know, like not knowing all that, they have this really pure sense of happiness, you know. And what I mean by that is just like having that, being around their, you know, their family or whatever and stuff, you know, or even whatever, if their job is, sometimes too, it's like, man, like they really do love doing what they do, you know. Whereas with sometimes when it's all about the money, you're doing it just for the money. Like, no, like I'm sure these people that aren't getting paid crap, you know, like who are, you know, have their own little stores or whatever. But anyway, we're kind of getting off track here. We're going and doing a real deep dive over on, you know,
we're getting a little deep here on Attack the Talk.
Yeah, but definitely, it's crazy how far behind they are, for sure. Especially when we go ahead and we see Marley, you know, we see what's happening, you know, past the sea. It's crazy. The technology, the weaponry and everything, it's so much more advanced. I mean, shoot, for crying out loud, freaking Sasha has a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, not even like I'm totally blanking on the names of like what Daryl did.
Yeah, like a crossbow.
Yeah, a crossbow, and that's not even like a crossbow. It's a bow and
it's
arrow.
Just a bow and arrow.
It's all manpower. Given that's really impressive and, you know, really good for stealth, but a little outdated. But that's her style.
Yeah. I mean, these scouts and everything, they're over in like medieval times. They have freaking swords.
Yeah.
You know, they have blades.
Yeah.
You know, they literally have like
muskets.
They have to go close combat. And a compound bow.
But then they have ODM gear.
Yeah. Which obviously interests Zeke. But
there are dogs knocking on the door right now.
They're back. Let's see what else we got to go ahead and cover here. Besides talking about that fool Sanas and the terrible things that he's been a part of, this fool's ready to die. He's not going to go ahead and say anything. But again, the IQ and talk about the script and the fact that this fool Ralph decided to go ahead and really execute the acting that was needed for him to really seem like he was betraying Sanas. I really wonder how they convinced this guy and like what they were, you know, like what did they tell him? Like, hey, look, just go ahead and read this, whatever, blah blah blah. Because I would imagine they're not going to tell him.
We'll stop torturing you if you just read this script.
Is this guy really that big of a freaking traitor? Like, maybe. I mean, if it's just like what's the deal? It's just.
If he's we'll stop torturing you. We'll let you live a little more comfortable. If you just read this script, that's it. Just read it.
I want to ask you. The script obviously involves talking about Sanas. Like, he obviously didn't care one bit about betraying him, right?
No, yeah, he had to definitely give some background info because it's like, oh yeah, we see him do this and because there is reference to like, all the guys, we all hate him. Like, that might be the truth.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, Sanas definitely seems like that type.
Yeah.
For sure. Self-righteous asshole.
Yeah. Though he's always pleading about, about peace and self-righteousness and all that.
Yeah. Ooh, here we go. Eddie deep dive.
All right.
He says, sorry to go off topic, but it's so crazy how in the 70-year prequel manga, the scouts have more like Knights Templar look with capes instead of just these cloaks, and they carry long swords instead of the blades that they use to slash titans.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's cool because, as I mentioned, like the whole kind of medieval mindset of it, right? But then if you were to actually see like legit medieval knights and stuff like that, that would look pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
You know, like having these scouts
Like knowing
outside the wall in medieval gear, just
Yeah.
you know, slicing up freaking
Probably have to go
Titans
Achilles and then just jump on them.
Yeah.
And like, or like, I don't know, hook and rope.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's that would look pretty freaking cool. But yeah, you said this is 70 years, a 70-year prequel.
70-year prequel. 70 years before.
But even then, it's like, okay, thinking about the time frame, like 70 years, right? From going from like pretty much really like just strict medieval, right, to like where they're at now. I
Yeah.
feel like that, again, the advancements that they've made,
Yeah.
it's nothing really.
And the more advances you
Superior.
make, the quicker the advancements are getting.
Yeah, so it's like they had 70 years to go ahead and come up with some better stuff. Like, okay, yeah, they're able to fly around now, but I feel like, I mean, again, they could have done so much more. Maybe it's from a lack of materials and stuff. Maybe, who knows? Like, I don't know. But I feel like they could have. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. But yeah, thank you so much for that, Eddie. Well, I wasn't even aware of that.
Yeah, I wasn't either. Thank you. Again,
Freaking cool.
we love when you guys join because you guys educate us.
Oh yeah, definitely. But Ralph executed the plan, and now Sanez is betrayed. So let's go ahead and let's finish out this episode. And so Sanez, he now opens his eyes as he hears the door to his torture room opening. We see standing outside the door, Levi, putting those heavy-duty gloves on again, and Hanji asking,
Sorry, I got to it a little late. Ready, Sanis? We're gonna try it again. This isn't easy for me either, but I'll be the best torturer I can.
And before Hanji can really go ahead and finish her point, a defeated Sanez informs Levi and Hanji, Rice is the true royal family. And then, strange, right? Mm-hmm. They obviously got information out of him,
Yeah.
but now we suddenly, hold on real quick. Kyron saying goodbye for now, my friends. Until we meet again. Kyron, we are aware that it's very late for you, my friends.
Goodbye,
so thank you so much for sticking around with us.
Good night, Kyron.
Yeah, goodbye,
No, he's
Kyron.
actually leaving to go find that manga and read the prequel.
Yeah, go ahead and
actually what he's doing.
Go ahead and read the prequel. But yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll see you next time, my friend. So
good night, Kyron.
Have a good week.
Hope to see you this time next week.
Yeah. All right. So they're able to go ahead and get some information now out of Sanez. Rice is the true royal family. And now we suddenly return to Trost to see Irvin in his room, staring out through his window, intensely thinking to himself. And then somewhere hidden in nighttime Trost district, we can see Demo Reeves still with that same wagon he helped transport Sanez and Ralph. We can see that Demo is standing beside the wagon, taking a smoke break, waiting as he says, "So much for keeping a low profile. How long is that boy gonna take?" And then Demo, of course, is referring to his son, Flagle, as we can now see Flagle in an alleyway taking a quick restroom break. We get a look now at the cloud-covered skies hiding in the bright moon. Or the skies are hiding the bright moon, I'm sorry. And as we can feel this eerie energy, get this eerie feeling. And then as Demo continues to wait for Flagle, we can suddenly see a tall shadow approaching Demo from behind. The shadow grabs a hold of Demo, covers his mouth, places a knife to his neck. We can see now that this shadow is the legend himself, Kenny the Ripper.
Not really someone that you want to meet.
Not in the
In a
dark.
dark alleyway.
No.
Alone.
Not at all. And Kenny tells Demo, "You know, the one thing a merchant should never sell out of is trust." And then Kenny slits the throat of Demo Reeves. And then we get this sad shot of just seeing the life leaving Demo's eyes. Kenny drops Demo's body there beside the wagon. And we can now see that Caven is there standing beside Kenny. Caven asks Kenny,
Was it wise to do that without asking where Levi is?
we see Kenny cleaning his knife. He tells Caven, he'll show up no matter what we do. And then Caven asks Kenny,
How do you know that?
well, Kenny answers, 'cause I raised him, that's how. Levi Ackerman's not one to give up the chase. And then Kenny and Caven, they now leave the scene, leaving Demo's body there. And now we see Flagle in tears, covering his mouth to prevent him from making any noise, hiding in that alley after witnessing his father's death. And then back at that hidden location where Hanji and the others are hiding, we see that they're having a brief little team meeting to discuss what San is informed both Levi and Hanji. Armin asks, you mean the rightful heir to the throne is Historia? And the rest of the Levi squad appear to be shocked, confused, as Hanji answers,
That's correct. And based on that knowledge, we're assuming that she and Aaron have been taken to Lord Rice.
and then Hanji gives Moblet a signal as Moblet nods, and now we see him placing a poster on the wall. Levi tells the group, that's him, as the poster shows the face of Rod Rice. And then somewhere also hidden away, we see the man himself, Rod Rice, staring into the eyes of Historia as Historia too stares, just curious and wondering. Rod Rice says her name, Historia. Rod Rice then goes in and gives Historia a hug. I can't tell you how sorry I am. Historia's eyes just widen. And then we see, laying in the corner of this room, a subdued and groggy Aaron Yeager, watching as he's still tied up with some sort of metallic equipment around his mouth, preventing him from biting. To be continued.
And that is episode 2.
We finally finished episode 2.
Dang.
Kenny is cold, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Just even that line that he tells Demo, like, I gotta read that again. Like, damn. Like, this dude, you literally said it, like, this guy literally does not, like, that's the one person you don't want to go ahead and come across.
no.
At all.
Like the
let
one.
alone in the dark of night over
Yeah.
in trust, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Alone, and I mean, you know, he also kind of has a vendetta after you. He made it seem so easy to be able to find you.
yeah. Oh, we prematurely said goodbye to Kyron?
Yeah. I literally noticed that while we're reading it. I
Goodbye
was
for
like,
now.
oh, well.
No, until we meet again. Why did you suddenly decide to go ahead
I know.
and sing
I
that,
was trying to get like the correlation. I was like, why did you suddenly
Yeah.
decide to put that song in?
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes you just feel like you got to break into song.
Stop kicking me out.
And it's
No,
from
never.
it's from Out of the Box.
Oh yeah, dude, classic.
Out of the Box.
Damn.
All right.
I'm trying to go ahead and read the lyrics and stuff into my mind, and that same kind of how it sounded in Out of the Box.
I don't know.
It's beautiful though. Oh, because you said you were closing out. Oh, okay. Oh, because we're gonna go ahead and finish this episode.
Yeah, because before we
Finally.
close out this episode.
Yeah, but yeah, that guy is one cold person.
Yeah.
That's why he's referred to as Kane the Ripper. That's why even Levi was like, wow, so now you're working with the MPs, right? The ones that you literally have slit so many throats.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? And that line, man, as you can imagine, just Kenny the Ripper comes up from behind, grabs you, covers your mouth. You feel like a freaking
And you
knife
feel the
right there.
blade on your neck.
And he gets into you like literally like whispers in your ear. You know, again that line. You know, the one thing a merchant should never sell out of is trust. And the fact that this guy already knows.
Yeah.
Like,
already knows that he's done.
Yeah.
Kenny, he's done.
Yeah.
You think Kenny was practicing that in the mirror?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Before?
Yeah. Because I
Like,
mean,
what's a
something
cool one-liner I could say?
because even it seems like we talked about it, I think a couple episodes ago, but like Caven seems to be kind of already tired of his like constant bravado and his liners, his one-liners.
Yeah,
his, like,
she very much is just like, she doesn't have any like flair to her voice or anything at all.
No.
It's very just like, she just sounds
very
so
robotic.
unamused all the time. She just always sounds unamused. And I mean, I guess, you know, being Kenny's second in command pretty much for as long as she's been, who knows how long.
yeah.
She's fresh out of courtesy laughs.
Definitely.
She's fresh out of courtesy laughs. She's like, I'm just here to do what I got to do.
Think about how many courtesy laughs she gave just to get to that ranking, just to get to that point.
And finally it was just like,
Look, I've exhausted
this guy
every
is
single bit of.
not funny. Let him do what he has to do. I'm here to do the job.
Yeah, this is like the perfect like when you have somebody who is literally so extroverted, and you have this introverted person who literally is just like. She is not gaining energy at all.
Yeah,
from
not at all.
This antics.
Just
As a matter
do
of
what
fact,
we need to do.
like Kenny's energy and his constant just like extroverted flair that he has is literally just draining the life out of Caven. Like she's just all about business now. But yeah, I mean, she brings up a great point too. Like, look, you're really gonna kill this dude without asking where Levi is? But then Kenny knows Levi. Look. Whatever we do, he's going to show. And then we get that quick little information. It leaves us with that little information where Kenny has to explain how he knows, how he's aware. It's because he raised Levi. Wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Yes, Kyron, there was an actual serial killer called Kenny the Ripper, and they never found him.
Really?
Yeah, they never discovered who he was. I think this is the same guy. They theorized that he had some kind of medical knowledge because there were people getting cut up and like organs removed, but it looked like it was like someone that had really good knowledge of anatomy. So it's
Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper is what it is. Jack the Ripper, not Kenny.
Yeah.
Jack the Ripper. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, they never caught the dude. And this was like, geez. Yeah. Kyra just looked it up.
Yeah, I literally just looked it up too, yeah. Because right now it's asking, is Kenny inspired by Jack the Ripper? And then it says that
the name
Isayama at a lecture, he stated that he modeled the character off of a Clint Eastwood's character, right, in A Fistful of Dollars.
Oh,
and it is likely that this character is Kenny. But on the other hand, Kenny the Ripper is rather obviously a reference to Jack the Ripper. Yeah.
So he is. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Heavily inspired by Jack the Ripper from Victorian London. Yeah, from the Victorian era.
How terrifying.
They didn't have the same the same detective equipment that they do now. But yeah, they never caught the guy.
How terrifying in that time, right? But then now we're in this weird time. Maybe it's always been like that, but the sudden fascination with these serial killers. You know?
I think it's because now it is still feared, obviously. It's still a big fear. But it's not as feared because we know that we have cell phones that can quickly call 911. We have the technology, hopefully, that is being utilized for like fingerprints and for DNA scanning and stuff like that. And because like you think about it all the time, like way back when, killing people was so easy.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can
so
actually get away with it. You know, like if you were, so this is so bad to say, you know, but it's like if you prepared enough, you know, and you kind of like,
if you knew all the tricks.
Yeah, like you can go ahead and kill somebody, dump the body, this and that. But now, like I said, nowadays there's so many cameras. There's this, you know, even just a certain kind of like the different process and the methods now that people use. I mean, like the authority uses like fingerprints and stuff, you know, and DNA and all that and stuff, you know. So it's like there's no way you're getting away with murder unless you're like by chance, you know, like people get lucky sometimes, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, different situations.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that our Kenny here, Kenny the Ripper, would get absolutely like, I don't want to say sexualized, but like he would have his fair share of groupies.
Yeah, they definitely have. Yeah, which sucks to say, but yeah, a lot of serial killers have groupies. Lexi had to know this. Speaking from experience, I see. No, I just watch a lot of documentaries and BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Yeah.
So that's how I know about all that stuff. Which I probably shouldn't have this knowledge, but
hey,
weirdly enough, I have this knowledge, and I'm never going to use it. But I know.
Well, Eddie's telling us that the book and the movie From Hell is gnarly. Johnny Depp is the detective trying to track down...
Oh, Johnny Depp's in it? Yeah, I'll watch it. That's all I had to say. Johnny Depp is in a movie, I'll watch it.
What's your favorite Johnny Depp character? Willy Wonka? Yeah, I knew it was Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka? Yeah. Probably from my favorite movie. It's probably got to be Sweeney Todd.
Oh, Sweeney Todd. That's a good one, yeah.
It's probably got to be Sweeney.
Yeah.
Benjamin Barker.
Yeah. Benjamin! Yeah.
And then, yeah. Sold, yeah. All you had to tell me was that Johnny Depp is in it. I'm sold. Oh, his Edward and Edward Scissorhands is pretty good, too.
I'm curious. You guys in chat, let me know. What is your favorite Johnny Depp
Yeah, this is a whole new tangent we're going down. Yeah, Captain
Jack Sparrow.
He knows, yeah. I haven't seen all of the Pirates movies, though. I think I've only seen the first 3.
You know what? I always reference the One Piece live action, but with the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, you know, obviously they have to go ahead and build such incredible looking pirate ships and everything, right? That the developers, I guess,
Imagineers,
the people, the powers that be, they actually reached out to the people who worked, you know, on the Pirates of the Caribbean movies to go ahead and
interesting.
Yeah. To go ahead and build, you know, ships and everything and stuff. And yeah. So there is hope for One Piece live action.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that the creator is heavily involved with it also gives me a little bit of peace of mind. But yeah. But Eddie's saying, unfortunately, I live in an area where there's a lot of land and farms, and I'm just imagining how many people can easily get kidnapped here. It's very dark and no street lights. And probably let me see.
Yeah.
He's thinking about
the way that like we're all just realizing how like easy it would be to just like get kidnapped.
Yeah.
And stuff.
And Kyron's telling you to go watch the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Except the last one was
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get involved. Only one series at a time. I just got into I just finished all of the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
So I'm caught up on that. I don't really watch movies, guys. I'm not really into those whole series and stuff. But I'm trying to be. It'll just be late.
Yeah. A little late to the party, but at least you'll be able to appreciate it. You like it?
I like Eddie's vote for his favorite
his
Johnny Depp
character is Rango. That's a good one.
I feel like that movie got way too much hate than it would like.
Really?
Than it should have gotten. I feel like it got a lot of hate. A lot of people didn't see the point of it. Thought it was bizarre. I really liked how bizarre it is.
What's the point of it? How bizarre? Wait, what? It's a freaking children's like movie, right?
No, I'm trying to. They make a lot of references that aren't childlike.
Okay, well that's something where it's like.
I think it's like a teen.
Kids aren't okay. Yeah.
Teen young adult movie. It's a feel good kind of. I like it. I'm currently binging those because she wants the game. Yeah. We were just talking about that.
Why do you think Lexi's watching that?
Yeah, my boyfriend made me watch all of them because he's buying the game.
Yeah.
And now I'm bought in. I know what house I am and my Patronus and everything.
Very quickly, before you go ahead and mention your house, what house do you think Lexi belongs to?
Yeah, take a vote. What house do you think I am?
What house do you think she belongs to? Yeah, it makes sense because, you know, even one of my friends was talking about the game and he's like, oh my gosh, I've put so many hours into that Hogwarts game. Mm-hmm. But he says it's so fun.
Yeah, I've seen a couple gameplays and it looks really interesting, but it's like really cool because I actually get all the references now. So
yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, what house do you guys think I am? If you guys are into Hogwarts like that.
See, that's one thing that's an issue with one of my other friends. He goes, man, it's like literally his first question was, is it multiplayer? And my buddy was like, no, it's just all just
it's not
single player.
It's single player.
Yeah.
It's story based.
Oh,
I think
definitely Hufflepuff.
I like the song
Anyway.
they play at the beginning of the movie, like singing his name. Rango.
Yeah.
Name's Rango. I like how they didn't do motion capture for that movie. They literally just had him just acting just like a full body acting with I forget the girl who plays Beans. But like full on acting with the voice actors, like bodily acting, and just record it just for like reference, just to be like, yeah, I guess this is how he's gonna move.
I realized too is that's what they did with the Last of Us game.
The game they did mocap.
Yeah, but it's
But
Isn't that what you're talking about?
they did motion capture for the game, but for Rango, no, there was no motion capture. It's just they just recorded them physically acting it and was just like, okay, that'll be our reference for when we animate.
Why not just start putting a couple balls on them and go ahead
Maybe
and
they didn't
mocap
have
it.
the budget for it, but
Wow.
they didn't really do mocap. They kind of just recorded it and was just like,
That's
this will be a
interesting.
reference.
It's very interesting.
So Rango is definitely acting. Oh, so Kyron guesses Hufflepuff. Eddie, do you have a guess?
Eddie, do you have a guess as far as what?
He's on his Rango.
I don't blame him.
He's on that Rango vibe right now.
I don't blame him one bit.
He left with the Rango train,
Yeah.
which is it's valid.
What is his name in Corpse Bride again? Is it
Victor.
Victor Von Doom?
No. Van Dort, actually.
Oh, that's close.
Victor Van Dort.
Could have been Doctor Doom.
Could have been.
Victor Von Doom. Yeah. I am waiting for.
Oh, Eddie's never seen
proper-
them.
Whoa.
Kyron, you can't get more than one guess.
Which one is it? Is it Hufflepuff or is it Slytherin?
I actually, to my surprise, am a Slytherin.
Oh, you are a Slytherin.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm a Slytherin.
It's all
I
good,
took
Eddie.
the quiz and
I haven't
everything.
seen him either.
Yeah.
You took a quiz?
Yeah, I took the quiz and everything, yeah.
I will say that my buddy.
boyfriend sent it to me immediately. He's like, hey, now you need to know what house you're in. I'm like, all right.
I will say though, I haven't done a quiz, but my buddy, who has been putting hours of gameplay into the Hogwarts game, talking about it with him and stuff like that, he goes, I knew what house he was. I knew what house. He's done that before the quizzes and all that and stuff. So of course he is a Hufflepuff. But then he tells me, he goes, I know what house you would be in. And to my surprise, he says, you are definitely a Gryffindor.
Yeah, and I agree.
So I guess I'm Gryffindor.
I agree that you are a Gryffindor.
That's cool, I guess.
I think you're a Gryffindor.
It's good.
Little
Yeah.
goody two shoes.
I thought you were gonna say, yeah, you're definitely a Gryffindor. I'm like,
Gryffindor.
whoa, calm down, Slytherin.
Yeah, that's what the
Calm down.
yeah, that's what the Sorting Hat tells you.
Really?
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor. Yeah.
And your Patronus would be a dolphin.
My what?
Your Patronus,
The hell's that?
pretty much like your spirit animal, kind of.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's like your guide,
Main character.
main character. And that's what I said. I was like, yeah, Gryffindor. You're with all the main characters. And then we don't really get to see any of the other ones. All we see from Slytherin in the movies, at least, is just all the Draco evil stuff. Slytherin gets down too. There's some innocent people in Slytherin.
Are they?
Yes.
I don't know.
Or is that what I want you to?
Didn't you say they throw parties whenever like Draco does bad things?
No, not when he does bad things. It's just apparently Slytherin is like a party one, and then Hufflepuff has like drugs and snacks.
What?
Yeah. There's like a whole there's lore. There's lore behind
So
it.
Ravenclaw is just like non-existent. They're just boring.
No, Ravenclaw is more. I don't really know it too well, but I've heard that Ravenclaw is more of like a. I guess they're just kind of there. I don't remember anything about Ravenclaw, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I don't really remember anything about Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw is very like, I feel like it's very forgettable.
Yeah, I've definitely
bad.
forgotten.
If
them.
anybody who's Ravenclaw out there, this is no.
There's no shade given.
Yeah.
I just the movies, man. The movies didn't give you that main character energy that Kyron's saying that AJ has.
I'm definitely one of those like side, whatever those random like characters.
You're
in the
supporting.
background.
You're supporting cast.
I'm in the background, letting Harry and the group do their thing.
Yeah, you guys got that.
But I think the game takes place like way before Harry Potter even exists. I think. I don't know.
I know that it's not in the same timeline at all, but I don't know if it's before or after.
What would you prefer? Now seeing the movies.
I think I would prefer after.
Really?
Yeah, having the game take place after,
Huh.
because a lot of really good changes were
Whoa.
made at Hogwarts.
You're wrong. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I
asked
heard
you, what
it's
would you
100
prefer?
Before, yeah.
100 years before?
I would prefer after, but yeah.
Damn, how long do wizards live?
Depends.
Really?
Depends on what kind of wizard.
Well, we know Harry Potter's parents don't live that long, right?
We know it is. He's the boy who lived.
I'm sorry, Harry.
Because I know how old the movies with Johnny Depp are also like.
Oh, he's
prequels.
in the Fantastic Beast, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he got
Fantastic Beasts
recasted though.
Yeah.
By he got recasted by Aaron Kruger.
Oh, recast.
Yeah,
You're
see?
You're right.
I remember
we don't know
Eddie.
his name. We're just like, yeah, Aaron Kruger.
No, his name is damn it.
Yeah,
What is his name?
What is it?
Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads. Yeah.
Yeah,
double
Mads
M.
Mikkelsen.
That's what it is. Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, that's what I said. Aaron Kruger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
There it is. Yep. The man confirms. Eddie himself, Mads.
Is it Nicholson or Mickelson?
Oh, I don't know. Probably is Nicholson. I don't
It
know.
probably is Nicholson.
I said
Mads Nicholson.
Mads Nicholson. Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the prequels though.
Imagine being named Mads. Yeah.
You imagine looking at your child, your baby, and thinking, yeah, Mads.
Mads.
Mads, for sure.
I mean, it's a cool name for sure. Better than Sads. You imagine being
Yeah,
Sads. Yeah, Johnny Depp's cool.
How did we get on this tangent?
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, Johnny Depp. And then we started talking about Harry Potter. And
Happy's Nicholson.
OMG, how do you even translate that into Spanish?
Mads?
Yeah, from Mads.
I don't know.
I mean, a name would just still be their name.
Yeah. Would be.
Where did we leave off on our discussion? We didn't even get to the whole we just talked about Ken, like how Kenny found.
Oh yeah, we're talking about Jack the Ripper, and then we talked about how there's a movie with Johnny Depp.
And then we got Anyways,
back on track.
we can talk about how Hanji, how they know that.
You always want to talk about Hanji.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Well, Armin is in this discussion too. You want to
Let's talk about it.
about how
No,
they
I'm
know
not ready
that
for it.
Historia is the rightful heir.
Yeah, this is something where it's like,
been
man, can
revealed.
you imagine, like, being told that somebody that was in your class, like, oh yeah, that person comes from the royal family.
Titan, heir, Titan.
Yeah.
Ackerman.
God, that's a crazy class, huh?
Yeah,
That's
I don't know.
one for the books.
What was in the water?
One for the books, for sure.
Yeah. That yearbook goes crazy.
Was Historia or Krista, she wasn't in the top 10, right? Did she just make the cut?
I think, no, she made the top 10.
Okay.
Out
out of that top 10 is like the first
right? Armin didn't?
Yeah, you're right. Armin didn't.
Yeah, Armin didn't and Historia did. That's what it was.
Yeah, Eddie's right.
Ah, see?
Yeah, she is. So it's like, yeah, if you go through that list, you'd be like obviously Mikasa is alive, right? But then you'd be like, okay, Titan.
Yeah, Titan.
You know, Titan. You'll get to Marco and dead, and then you go ahead and you continue on. And you'd be like, okay, Taekwondo.
Clinically insane. Yeah.
And then you go ahead and you'd be like, okay, royalty, whatever. And
Yeah,
stuff.
royalty, dead.
It's like, man, crazy class.
Hesitate.
Well, who else is dead?
I mean, if you want to go by current.
Oh, you're okay. Yeah, we're doing way down the line.
If
Yeah.
you want to go in spoiler territory,
Yeah.
one of that Taekwondo duo is
Taekwondo dead.
Taekwondo dead.
Oh.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that too. The fact that Aaron is literally like one spot ahead of John, right?
Yeah, literally.
That's funny.
I remember looking at their heights and being like, Connie is so small. He's so
Yeah.
short.
Yeah, he is. But he has a glow up though.
Yeah, he has a grow up.
Yeah, he definitely grows up. His hair too. Still
It's
short.
about the same, but
No, it's not like.
it grows a little bit.
Yeah.
It's more
You got
like
some
a
fuzz
yeah,
there.
Yeah, he's got some fuzz going on.
Yeah, it's not
I don't
like.
know why I would think it's a good idea to eat caramel right now. It's definitely horrible to eat caramel into the mic.
Hair didn't do him favors.
Yeah, it did not. He
But now
definitely
it
was giving
does.
cue ball.
You're gonna have caramel.
I don't know why I just got snacky all of a sudden. We're just gonna do eating ASMR.
Yeah, ASMR real quick. I'm
It's
gonna.
gonna take me a while to chew on this though. You gotta carry the podcast.
I'm going to eat a fortune cookie.
I'm gonna eat a piece of caramel. This is my last piece.
Throw that away, please. No, don't. I don't like that.
Yeah, ASMR with the Attack on Titan soundtrack in the background.
I'm gonna put the mic away real quick.
Yeah. Sound like Minecraft. Like Minecraft audio.
True.
Yeah, and I would eat caramel when I had braces too, because I'm insane.
Another.
And I love caramel.
Another Johnny Depp movie. Caramel. Right?
Yeah.
Caramel.
It'd get stuck
The
in your
freaking-
braces, wouldn't they? Chocolate.
Peanut butter.
I found
Aww.
it.
Eddie says, "Yo, so back to the scouts from back in the day. Their hoods are like scrunched up and the capes are wait,
They're
the
at
capes
their
at their calves and tears.
Have tears? Tears?
Oh, it has tears like as if there's like actually tears and stuff.
Okay.
This is the medieval times.
Yeah, back in the day, they had hoods that are like scrunched up. The capes
Yeah,
are long enough down at their calves. Okay, that makes sense. The length makes sense.
they're God, they're like uniforms and everything. They seem so like badass too. Like it's cool too because you would think, of course, the scouts are gonna have like badass uniforms because I mean they're the scouts. They're literally the ones going out and taking on Titans,
Yeah.
right? My fortune's actually pretty sweet. You wanna read it?
With caramel in my mouth. Let me know if you guys agree. His fortune is, you have a charming way with words.
Aw,
Panda Express.
yeah.
Gotta put the Panda Express in there. You know, it's a lot of baloney.
You have a charming way with words.
That's not a fortune.
It's not a fortune at all.
That's
It's
not
just-
a fortune.
It's just a nice.
That's a
nice
compliment cookie.
compliment. I like it. Can you imagine like actually creating like a? Obviously these are fortune cookies, but you go ahead and just
A
have
lot of baloney.
just have a compliment cookie. That sounds like a great idea.
The way Kyman agrees. Yes, you woo me every podcast.
Aw. I mean,
He said, just kidding. You don't.
You woo me too, though. With beard comments. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay.
First thing he says,
Yeah.
your beard looks good every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Scouts are badasses. But let's talk about it. You want to talk about Hanji and Armin? What we got going on with him?
Well, just that, they know that Historia is the rightful heir, and obviously they're all like, what
that's right.
is going on? Like, who is that king that's in there now? Like, what is...
Can you
Does she
imagine
know this? And
now that responsibility, right, that you have for protecting these two? You obviously know that Eren is important, and now you realize, oh crap, Historia is very important.
Yes.
She is the rightful heir to the freaking throne.
yeah,
And we just,
she is royalty.
yeah. Damn it, Kyron, thank you.
Immaculate.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then obviously we cut to when she's actually with Lord Rice. And
Yeah, this guy just being manipulative.
I was gonna say he's definitely acting and just being
for sure.
manipulative, being like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so happy that you're here now. I've been looking for you." No, you have not.
No.
No, you have not.
And that's why even
you
like
kidding?
Historia's looking at him like kind of like, there's almost a moment where like, wait, like I recognize you.
Yeah.
Or it's like, whoa.
Like
And,
I've never had this kind of comfort from family before. Like, what is this?
It really never has. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna get into some crazy territory here. Now that we're introduced to Rod Rice, now that Rod Rice has Eren and Historia, we're gonna get into some crazy stuff. We're gonna go ahead and talk about like how important this Rice family is, right? I like how Eddie goes and he wants us to go back and talk about 70 years and stuff, talking about the scouts and everything. Well, it's gonna be cool because Attack on Titan's gonna be doing that with us too. That we're gonna go back in time. We're gonna go ahead and see really what this guy Rod Rice has been orchestrating. What kind of weird cult he has going on over down there.
Going on over there.
This strange family cult that they have, this Rice family cult. This guy who, unlike Armin last week, this guy doesn't want to get blood on his hands, right? At least not in that way. He just wants to be sketchy elsewhere and go ahead and do adultery stuff and continue having kids so that they can continue carrying on the legacy.
Continue the lineage.
This lineage, yeah.
And then Aaron's just like out of it.
He looks like he's freaking like drugged up,
Yeah,
it's so sad.
So out of it that he's just like can barely keep his eyes open. He's just watching this dude manipulate his area, and he's just like.
Because you gotta think too, they're obviously continuing to inject this dude with, stuff.
Something to subdue him because he is a Titan.
Yeah.
But like even with all that, like you don't even need the thing in his mouth at that point. Like this dude is not turning into a Titan anytime soon when he's looking like that.
Yeah.
But they're obviously terrified of him precautions.
Yeah.
And then found out in the last episode, well not the last episode, the last time we covered when I wasn't here, that he's likely, I mean they found out that he's likely going to be eaten.
Yeah.
And everything and all. Again, so much info was given just from season 2. Like the whole discussion between Ymir and Rhino, that's so much like crucial information that's just like thrown out there in season 2 and you have no idea what it's about. Attack on Titan loves doing that. Just throwing out information and being like, I don't know what this means.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the episode 2.
We finally crossed the finish line.
Join us for the next 5 parts of episode 3.
Episode 3. Goodness gracious. There's just so much content and information that we're getting this season 3. I mean, it's like, okay, we were getting some information in season 1, season 2, but it felt like now it's like, wow.
Yeah, all the information that we were initially getting is now tying together, affecting other storylines, affecting other people, like who we've obviously built up this whole background and built up this whole character development with, and it's just Attack on Titan never fails to confuse.
Yeah, I mean,
the best way possible.
Something too that me and Zach talked about last week. It's like, it's crazy, right? Because now it's like for our characters, our Levi squad, our protagonists, right? That it's like again, they have to worry about people who are literally working in the shadows. Like they have to, instead of just go to a certain location and go ahead and fight or whatever, or kill Titans. Like, no, it's literally like detective work.
Yeah.
They have to go find out information from one location to go ahead and get, it's like different weird little puzzle pieces. And they have to go find out from this person. They have to go and, oh, wait, there's more people that want to kill them. They have to go ahead and avoid all that. Oh, great. And then they're like, okay.
Survive.
And then even if they get information, they're like, okay, let's go over to the spot. Oh, wait, they moved them? Okay, never mind. Now we got to go start from scratch again. And just so much stuff. And then obviously you have that freaking crazy 4-member council that's, again, working in the shadows and stuff, It's insane. So many kings.
Yeah.
So many conquerors.
So many kings.
Yeah. All the different variants. So many variants.
All right. I'll just...
You want to go bring him inside?
You guys hear him?
Yeah, go ahead and bring him in.
Clearly he misses us.
Bring him over. Instantly. He's like, huh?
guys, you need to mentally prepare to see this thing.
Yeah, to see this thing, to see this old man.
He's old and blind. He's so old.
Yeah. I like how you cover him right there at the mic.
Here, what do you have to say for the people?
Say hi to everybody.
Did you even hear him sniffing the mic?
Yeah, you can hear him a little bit.
Yeah, those are his old man noises.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Little guy. Name. That's the name.
Oh, yes.
Scrappy-Doo.
The blue collar and everything.
Yeah.
Except Scrappy-Doo got old.
Yeah.
All right. You want to just like walk around here?
Yeah. Well, his name, should we tell him what his name is?
Oh, yeah. We never just realized that we never said his name. We're just
No.
like, yeah, that old dog.
Yeah, the old man.
His name is Nacho.
Yeah. He's a little Chihuahua mix whose name is Nacho.
Yeah. That would be Nacho.
Yeah.
He is 13 going on 14.
Yeah.
He's old.
He's an old man, but he's still fighting.
Yeah, he's going to be 14 pretty soon. He's just a little blind.
Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that he's done crying.
All right. Favorite Jack Black movie? Okay,
I know.
yeah.
My gosh.
Favorite Jack
School
Black.
of Rock. Shallow Hal.
Come on.
Okay, I'm gonna stop making jokes before we start doing more tangents.
Tenacious D.
All right.
Shrek. Mike Myers. Let's go.
Okay.
There's all these different actors and like all the
Adam
different roles in
Sandler.
it.
Will Ferrell.
Those are some good categories we can get into.
That's for an OVA.
Do a kick flick.
He's right there.
All right.
He's wandering around, trying not to trip over cables. And you guys can't see, but it is a cable. It's a cable
Yeah.
tornado. Oh, the way he just like laid down. He's calm now. Look at him.
Thank goodness. Cool.
All he needed to do was just be around us.
Yeah, literally.
He's so calm now. He's just laying
spoiled.
down now. All right.
All right. Well, we finally finished, guys.
That howling probably tired him out. Walking around and crying.
But we appreciate you guys sticking around.
Through all of our random tangents.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we've
been
been going on
craziness.
for 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours and going on 17 minutes.
Dang. It's a long time, y'all.
It is. But yeah. So, is there any other kind of final thoughts we want to cover? Something that may be alluding to something?
We skipped over.
And
I feel like we covered everything that I had thought of.
mhm.
And more.
Yeah, Sana's got played. Fell for
Yeah.
the act. Gave up the information.
Very
exactly
smart play,
what
smart play.
the Levi squad needed. And like I said, guys, it's just gonna get crazy from here. I mean, yeah, it's all insane. Season 3 is actually pretty wild. We appreciate you guys. Eddie, thank you so much, man. You are awesome. All you guys are awesome. We're going to go ahead and finally get to a close here, guys. We've been doing this for a while. Going on, like I said, over 2 hours. Sorry, Kyron. I'm sorry, bro.
Aw.
But I'm glad that you appreciated it, man. But yeah, guys, it's going to go ahead and wrap up another episode of Attack the Talk. This is Season 3. Again, Season 3 is so crazy. We're already 6 episodes into Season 3 of Attack the Talk. And we've only covered 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, how crazy is that? Yeah, it's insane, guys. But continue to go ahead and stick around, guys, for this journey. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and cover who knows how many parts, but we're going to go ahead and cover episode 3 next week. Make sure you guys go ahead and stay up to date. Make sure you guys follow on Instagram if you have not. Obviously, the Instagram is Attack the Talk Podcast. And as I mentioned at the start of this podcast, guys, go check out that YouTube channel. Go support the channel, guys, because Nate is working really hard on it, and it looks awesome. Oh. Okay, Eddie. Eddie's telling us that, hey, there's this girl he's been talking to. Yesterday she comes out and she's been rewatching AOT. Damn, okay. She's a keeper. And that's a 10 out of 10 in my book. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And Kyron, you are a real one. Sticking around and fighting the sleep. But that's awesome, Eddie. Hell yeah.
Congrats, Eddie. Congrats.
Best of luck, man. And hopefully everything all works out because she sounds like an awesome girl. Especially if she's rewatching AOT. It's pretty freaking cool.
Well, that reminds me of great news. Marco has a girlfriend now.
Whoa! Yeah. Official?
Congrats. Yeah. Congrats, Marco. Congrats.
Awesome. That's why he's not joining our streams anymore because he's... I'm kidding.
He's out there visiting her, hanging out with her. Nah, it's fine.
That's awesome.
You look happy. Congrats. You're happy.
Congrats to Marco. And I'm happy that our friends are... happy our friends are doing all well. It's awesome. But yeah, guys, make sure you guys stay up to date. Make sure you guys follow on Instagram. Check out the YouTube channel. Check out all the different awesome thumbnails that Nate created for all of our past episodes that we have available on YouTube. And yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and chat with us live, we stream live on Sundays, 7 o'clock. Yeah, it's very cool. Hey, you guys join us. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. We talk about a lot of crazy stuff. We talked about Johnny Depp movies today.
Yeah.
Nacho's just
he's
chilling over here, literally asleep.
Out. He just fell asleep.
Yeah. Eddie says, he always checks out the YouTube channel. And do me a favor, guys. Also, check out Eddie's YouTube channel. Check out his YouTube channel. It's his name, Eddie Hinston. Eddie's been creating content, for people who want to go ahead and learn how to, skateboard. He has some tricks and stuff like that he wants to go ahead and teach. It's cool because he is now kind of like, trying to spread the wealth, you know?
Not just like me for real. Yeah. I'm so tired of moping, crying around. And now I'm just, I'm with my people now. Good night.
Yeah. But that's awesome. Thank you so much for that, Eddie. But yeah, guys, follow the Instagram. Check out the link tree for all the different platforms we're on. Now let's go ahead and let's talk about some merch. And that would be some anime merch, guys. If you guys are interested in purchasing some anime merch or just even doing some browsing, you guys want to go ahead and give it a look, see maybe if there's something you might like, go ahead and check out AnimeCrunch. AnimeCrunch, it's a Instagram profile where we have these two brothers. They go ahead and they are selling anime merch. They're both awesome people. Go check out their Instagram. Their Instagram is AnimeCrunch. That is anime. And then Crunch is Crunch, CRUNCHH. And then that would be the number 24 at the end. So AnimeCrunch24. Check it out on Instagram. They have a link for you guys to go ahead and use. You click that link, it'll take you to their store. And go ahead and give it a browse, guys. Go ahead and see what they got. They have some really, really cool stuff. Yeah, go ahead and support them. That is AnimeCrunch. And also, if you guys are looking for some anime merch, looking for some Star Wars merch, looking for some Last of Us stuff, MCU stuff, DC, whatever it is, they have a ton of anime, as I mentioned. But in our link tree, guys, there's a link for you guys to go and use, and that link would be the Fandomion link. Click that link.
Released some Wednesday merch, and they actually released a pretty cool new Death Note long sleeve that I might get. So
yeah, you should.
Some new stuff out there. They're always trying to come up with new stuff. They're always letting me know when there is new stuff out, so I can let you guys know, so you guys have first pick.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then if you guys are interested in purchasing all that, not only is Lexi giving you the information, right? She also has a promo code for you guys to use, and that promo code is her name, LEX, Lex. Promo code Lex for 10% off of your purchase order. Awesome, guys.
Please use it, please.
There's so much. I checked it out yesterday. I clicked the link over in the link tree, and damn, literally, the first thing you see is just the many different anime options that you can go ahead and scroll.
No,
through.
there's so I've never seen a website have such a diverse variety of animes.
Yeah, it's insane. But yeah, go ahead and check out that link, guys. Use that promo code LEX, and yeah, there's so much stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's more than just the mainstream stuff. There's these niche animes that you can go into. It's whatever you're into.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
And again, like you said,
got it.
They have anime and more. It's incredible. All right, guys. So go ahead and now switching on to some art talk. obviously we keep talking about our friends of the show here, right? And they're just so creative, and it's awesome. I mean, we've talked about Eddie and how creative he is with his content that he creates on his YouTube channel, Eddie Hinston, but he also creates art, right? Now, if you guys go ahead and follow Eddie on Instagram, he has his Instagram channel or Instagram page where it's his name, Eddie Hinston, but then he also has his channel where he publishes his art, which is at ArtofCesar. Check that out, guys. But I saw something too where Eddie is putting together like an art gallery.
Yeah, he is.
True?
I was just about to say that. Yeah, he's putting together a little gallery of.
Yeah, and I think I saw some of that little gallery, and it looks pretty freaking cool. So go check that out, guys, over on his Instagram, and go check out his art Instagram page, and that is at ArtofCesar. Yeah, again, we talked about it before. Eddie is so freaking talented. He's so freaking knowledgeable. He goes and he tells us all these crazy little insights and stuff like that with AOT knowledge.
Yeah.
He also talks about other stuff as well, just
Dude's
history
just full
stuff.
of surprises.
And
full of skill.
and yeah, so Eddie's got some serious skill. And go support him, guys, over on his YouTube channel at Eddie Hinston, his Instagram at Eddie Hinston, his Instagram at ArtofCesar. Go check out all the different stuff that Eddie's been putting out there. Yeah, go support the guy.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You deserve it all.
No, honestly, Eddie, just thank you, man. You know, we go on. I go on this tangent every episode, but I mean, it's like I can't say it enough, man. Just the fact that you go ahead and you join us, man, every episode. It's so much fun, and it's like you are literally taking time out of your day, man, to go ahead and spend it with us, and it's so special, man. And just thank you so much. And it's obviously the same goes to you, Kyron. I mean, we love it whenever our friends go ahead and join us. I mean, it's as simple as that, right? But I don't want you guys to go ahead and think that it's just like, you know, we take that all for granted, because we don't, man. You know, it's your guys' company is so special. And like Lexi mentioned at the start of this podcast, like this awesome friendship and like this kind of like community that was created because of this podcast it's so freaking special. So Eddie, thank you. And obviously our friends of the show, thank you guys so much. And obviously shout out to the Levi squad.
Yeah.
And
our Levi squad.
Yeah, we love you guys. But yeah. And then we mentioned Marco.
Yes, Marco.
Our newly in a relationship Marco.
Yes.
He's also very talented as well, because he also creates some awesome art. He has an Instagram as well, right, Lex? People can check out. Where can people find him at?
Find him at his name, Marco Mamone, MARC0MAMONE. He's got awesome works out there. Check out his art. Yeah. It's again really talented. I don't sound like a broken record. Just all the support that we're giving out to our friends and everything. But he's really cool, and he's got really cool art.
Yeah.
Check it out on his Instagram.
Yeah. Exactly, guys. Go check it out, guys. Go check it out. Again, it's ArtofCesar, and then it's also at Marco Mamone. That O is a 0. And then, of course, finally, we want to talk about our friend Caesar, who actually I saw Caesar, and we actually posted on Instagram, right, where Caesar went in and he created this awesome artwork that is Attack on Titan related.
Yes.
And that would be that. We talked about it too, guys. We did a poll question last week, literally talking about this specific fight scene. We asked you guys, what was your favorite Captain Levi fight scene or Captain Levi battle?
Yeah.
And the majority of people voted for it to be their favorite is, of course, the Beast Titan.
Yeah.
Right? And
the big Beast Titan fight.
What's super cool is that Caesar literally went ahead and he drew up this art piece of the Beast Titan mid-battle with Levi.
Yeah, and it's like the scene where he's just like spiraling up the arm, cutting it up.
It's awesome.
It's just so good.
It might still be up over on our Instagram, guys. Go check it out over on our story. But also go follow Caesar at ArtofCesar. That is art_of_Caesar _ on Instagram. Yeah, go ahead and see what he's got, guys, because he's got a lot of cool stuff. So go ahead and support the friend. Yeah, super talented. All of our friends here are talented as well. Yeah, it's so cool. But time to finally go ahead and say goodbye, guys. Again, I want to go ahead and give a huge shout out to NatePlaysBad. Go follow NatePlaysBad over on Twitch, over on his YouTube channel as well. Both of them are at NatePlaysBad. He's got some really funny content, guys, that he does over on Twitch. And then, like I said, just go check out the beautiful art that he's been putting out there as well over for the YouTube channel here at Attack the Talk Podcast. That link, as I said, is available in the link tree. And thank you so much, Nate. again, man, just so thankful for you, man. Like, I think about where this podcast would be without him, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know? So the fact that you continue to go ahead and make these, some may say like these little improvements, but they really do go a long way, you know?
Really
And yeah, just Nate, thank you so much, man, for all the help. I appreciate it, man. And I hope that you're doing well, my friend. So with all that being said, guys, you guys know I'm AJ. You guys know that I love you. We'll see you guys back here next week when we go ahead and continue on with season 3. We hope that you guys have a great week. And I'm AJ signing off. Goodbye, guys.
Love you guys. Be safe and make good choices. Bye.